well. So certainly hope everyone is well. Hope everyone has had a good week as we approach the weekend. Of course, we've got SmackDown tonight. We've got UFC tomorrow. Should be a really good show. On Sunday, we're going to do a WrestleMania watch along. We're only 4 weeks away now, I think it is. 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. On Monday, obviously, we got Raw. On Tuesday, hopefully we get a Wrestling Escape Pod. Obviously, that was cancelled this week because Tommy not feeling well. So hopefully we'll be back for Tuesday for that. And then, of course, AEW NXT next Wednesday. And that kind of brings us round again. So plenty coming up streaming-wise. Big shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now. Nice jacket, thank you. I can tell you it's very, very cold. Very cold where we are. It was like the rain was like bouncing off the windows earlier today. It was like hail, really. So, yeah, it's very cold, very dark, very dreary. And so as a result, I had to find like something a little bit thicker. So, yeah, hence why I'm here. Shout out to, as I said, everyone that's joining us. Right, let me change this countdown clock because we're not totally set up yet. There we go. We've got 56 minutes to go until we start with the show. What I want to do is I want to go through the preview for tonight. We'll go through the preview and then we'll talk about a bit of news and then we'll jump into the chat. So preview tonight, not loads. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan contract signing. So sure there's going to be some skullduggery there. We got Big E and Apollo. They are doing some kind of segment, but we don't know exactly what that segment is. I would imagine promos, you know. Obviously, we're getting this new Apollo, who I'm really into. I think very interesting character. At least he's got a character. I understand there might be a few rough edges in there for some people, but I definitely think this is steps in the right direction. So, yeah, Big E and this new Apollo. The only thing is, like, it's hard to know who should win because, like, this is the best thing they've done with Apollo, maybe ever. So I don't want to see this character losing now. But equally, is it time for Big E to lose that Intercontinental Championship? I mean, I wouldn't think so. I'm guessing they're going to face each other at Fastlane, and then there's going to be some kind of screwy finish. Maybe the military men get involved. And anyway, we get the rematch for WrestleMania or something along those lines. Maybe Apollo wins the IC belt at WrestleMania, and that's the start of Big E going on to bigger and better things. I'm not too sure. I can't quite figure out how they're going to do it. And I can't figure out who's going to win the feud because I feel like both of them should win the feud. So I'm very interested in that. See how that plays out. And, of course, we've got Sasha and Bianca. They are still going to be teaming
is a legend.
together.
They donated
to
2
the
New
women's tag
Zealand dollars
titles.
via a super chat. Hey Days, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello. Shout out to you, Hayden. Hope you are well, buddy. Hayden, of course, down in New Zealand, having to deal with all them earthquakes and tsunamis and all this kind of, and, you know, just having come out of surgery as well. So it's all kicking off in Hayden's world. So I hope you are well, Hayden. Shout out to you, my friend. LSW, shout out to you. So, yeah, the final thing was Sasha and Bianca, and obviously we're building towards them getting tag title opportunities. I think they're in the match at Fastlane. I think that women's tag title match is Fastlane. So we're still building towards that. And that is it. That is all that I've seen. I've not seen anything else previewed for tonight. The only thing I would say is that SmackDown tends to deliver. They've got so many great superstars. You've got the likes of Seth, and you've got the likes of Cesaro. You've got like some big names on that SmackDown brand that it doesn't really matter who we're going to get or what segments we're going to get. Pretty sure the show overall should deliver. So I'm excited for tonight. I always get excited for Friday nights. Yeah, it's just great to be back streaming, to be honest. As we said, we didn't do anything on Tuesday because Tommy wasn't feeling very well. Yesterday, I was doing a bit of research for UFC, and also I didn't know if we were going to be doing the Wrestling Escape Pod, so that kind of messed yesterday up quite a bit. So, yeah, it's just nice to be back streaming now. So, as we said, we're back tonight, back tomorrow, back on Sunday, back on Monday. This is 4 days in a row that we'll be doing some big streams on the Wrestling Days channel. So it's good. I'm excited. Feels like the start of a new week. It's weird. Everyone else is like, yes, end of work, that Friday feeling. Whereas I get excited for Friday because it's kind of like the start of my week. Thursdays, we don't tend to do much. So, yeah, it's cool. News-wise, there is some news. The big news I'm probably doing the rounds is about Andrade. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen that Andrade is asked to leave. There's reports that he was looking miserable backstage at Raw. And honestly, I don't know how much truth is in those reports. I can believe them. I think that it's been reported for a long time that Vince just doesn't see it in Andrade. And I think you can see from the booking of Andrade that is very much true. That Vince doesn't see it in Andrade, otherwise he would be booked better than he has been. I think when he was with Zelina Vega, he was at his best. I think when they added Angel Garza, it was a nice idea, but it didn't make things better for me. I think it was fine. It's a story. It'll get you through, a period of time or whatever, but it didn't make things better. And it certainly didn't make Andrade better. And it certainly didn't make, Angel Garza better. I don't know. That whole thing, I think it, looking back now, unnecessary. I think they could have got something from it, but they didn't. It's not as if we ended up getting this incredible Andrade Angel Garza program. It's not as if both stars came out looking bigger. I mean, look at where Angel Garza is now. Look at where Andrade is now. Look where Zelina Vega is now. Didn't work. If it was going to work, then, they'd all have come out looking bigger and better stars. But, yeah, Andrade's pretty much gone. Zelina Vega has gone, and Angel Garza might think about going because he's certainly not being highlighted very well at the moment. So I can't say that I'm surprised. I suppose the one thing that I am surprised at is the fact that WWE haven't done anything to try and work a program with him and Charlotte. That would feel like money. Charlotte's a natural heel. Andrade is a natural heel. Putting them together as a power couple feels like such an obvious, easy move. I have no idea why they're not doing it. Certainly because at the moment it feels like the women's division is in turmoil. So you might as well just try stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they've got this story planned out because we're hearing reports that Asuka might not make WrestleMania. That's something else that's doing the rounds. Apparently when she got her teeth knocked out, she did suffer concussion as well. Now, you can come back from concussion after a few weeks if it's slight. But if it's anything even remotely serious, we are only 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. So it's a concern. It is definitely a concern. So you've got a lot of turmoil.
They donated $1.99 via a super chat. Would you like to see Andrade and Vega in AU?
I suppose. I mean, the thing with AEW is I feel like they're still establishing themselves. I still feel like they're still sorting themselves out as an organization. It's kind of like they're giving people opportunities at the moment, and they're trying to build new stars, and they're bringing in old stars to try and build the new stars. And it's not like with WWE where you've got a lot of settled characters. So, if someone comes from NXT to the main roster, you've got like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's been around forever, yeah? You know what you're getting with Randy Orton. He's firmly established, multiple-time world champion. He's going to work a program with you. If you can get a victory over him, it's going to mean something. and so on, so on, so on, right? Same with AJ Styles, so on. The list goes on, yeah? They've got a very established roster. Now, if Andrade goes over to AEW, that's obviously not as established. And is it going to feel as big? Is it going to matter as much? Because who's he going to beat? I mean, if Andrade beats Sammy Guevara, does that mean anything? If he beats Sammy, does that mean anything? If he beats Darby, does that mean anything? If he beats Powerhouse Hobbs, does it mean anything? If he beats Lance Archer, does it mean anything? Because all of these people are not established. All of these people are still trying to establish themselves. Like, he would have to go and beat Jericho for it to mean something. But then I look at Orange Cassidy, and I can't say that did him much. Like, the Orange Cassidy-Jericho feud, I don't think it did a great deal for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy doesn't feel any bigger now. In fact, he feels a little smaller, if I'm being honest. Kind of feels like the hype around Orange Cassidy has settled down now. So the problem is that would I want to see him in AEW with Zelina Vega? Well, if he's definitely leaving WWE, then no, to be honest, no. Because I don't think that it feels like it's settled yet. If it was the case that he could go over and you could go, wow, you could do this match and you could do that match and he could beat this person and beat that person, that would be huge. It's like, who's he going to go and beat? Matt Hardy. Like, that doesn't do it for me. I know people are saying, well, Kenny Omega. Well, yeah, but you're talking about the title there, aren't you? Cody, sure. I can see the Cody argument. So I can see an argument for a handful of people, but I mean, it's not many. It's really not many. And honestly, he's going to have to feud with a load of people that's in feuds that just went, look at Miro. Look at Miro. Miro, one of these absolute big, massive names. Miro Rusev is bigger than Andrade because he had like WrestleMania moments, that tank moment in particular, right? But he was around for longer. He was on the main roster for longer. He was in bigger programs. He worked a program with Undertaker. He worked a program with, well, I say a program, it's a one-off match, but he worked a program with John Cena, of course, at WrestleMania. And he had the Rusev Day thing, and there was quite a lot that Rusev did. I would say he was a bigger name than Andrade. And look at how they've used him. He's gone over. He's been partnered with Kip Sabian to try and get Kip Sabian over. They feuded with Best Friends, and which has done nothing for me. It's only now, a few months later, where Miro's starting to become what we wanted, that I'm starting to get even remotely interested. So it's like if Andrade goes to AEW, what's he going to do?
Draven Dresden is a legend. They donated
I'd have him go New
$5
Japan.
via a super chat. Prediction, 9 days, 2 hours, 3 minutes. That is when the fires will burn and their fire are set loose.
Jake Huston, shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. Draven Dresden, shout out to you. Who was that question from? It's from Joaquin. Shout out to you as well, buddy. Yeah, so I would have him go New Japan. I would have him go to New Japan. I think that New Japan's more established. I think you can do a lot of dream matches over in New Japan with Andrade. I also think that he just fits better into that world, to be honest. I think that he used to be La Sombra in CMLL. He was a part of Los Ingobernables. And, I think he can very much slip back into that. I kind of see Andrade a little more like, say, Kenta. I think he's quite comparable to Kenta. And I think that he'll go, or hopefully would go New Japan. He can still work with AEW, but it just feels like a better fit if he goes to New Japan, or maybe back to CMLL where he worked before. But no doubt AEW would be interested. No doubt they would offer him a contract.
Ricky
I'm
A.
sure they've already been in
245
touch
is a
with
legend.
Zelina.
They donated $5 via a super chat. Hey Days, what are your thoughts on the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships?
Yeah, I like them. Ricky, shout out to you. I like them because I think there's a lot of talented women in NXT, and they've just added a load more. If you look at like Priscilla Kelly, that Zoe Starks, you got the Rock's daughter around. I mean, it's going to take a while for her to come through, but she's there. Taya Valkyrie, Jessie is getting a lot of screen time now. Obviously, Indy Hartwell has been put in the way with Candice, and there's loads. I mean, you've got the Xia Li storyline, you got Caden Carter, Tony Storm, Io Shirai. You look at the top of the card as well with Mercedes Martinez. I mean, it's stacked. The women's division down there is stacked, and they're all currently competing for one belt. They're all competing for one title. So, either a mid-card title or tag belts, I think, was needed. I think they did need another women's title in NXT. And I think the tag team ones are great because that's a quick, easy way of getting more women on screen in one match. Like with tags, obviously, you can get 4 women on screen. And if you do like a ladder match or a battle royal, then you can get even more. So it's just a quick, easy way of getting more screen time for the women's division. And they needed a secondary title. As I said, be it mid-card, be it tag belts, didn't care what it was, but they definitely needed something. I think the belts themselves are, I think, exactly the same as the men's, just on a white strap, maybe a little smaller. I think they look great. Little bit of a shame, maybe, that they weren't different. Obviously, the women's NXT championship is different to the men's. So, bit of a shame, I suppose, that the women's tag belts weren't a little different to the men's. In fairness, they might be. If I've not sat down and looked at them side by side to see if there is any slight differences, but the overall looks pretty much the same. So, yeah, I like it. I am a fan. I think it was the right thing to do. I think it's going to give women more screen time. Ultimately, I would like them to get a mid-card title as well. They are trying to move towards 50-50. They do want 50% of the company to be women and 50% to be guys, which I think is fine. I have no issue with that at all. I think women have really stolen the show more often than not. And I think if you look at like what Bianca's doing, and if you look at Charlotte and Bailey and Becky coming back, and I mean, there's just some of the biggest stars they've got are the women. So yeah, I think this is the right move. I'm all for it. To be fair, I can't say I've seen many against it, so I don't think I'm in the minority on that one. Lawrence said, Days, I heard rumors that Vince is done with the full WrestleMania 37 match card. Okay, haven't seen any news about that. I know that he was looking to make it bigger, feel bigger. And the other news as well is the fact Anna, full heel doors, sent it through. The information that WrestleMania is going to look to have 45,000 people each day, which is a concern because that is a lot. I don't even know how much the stadium holds. I don't think Raymond James Stadium is that big. It can hold 45, but I think its max might be about 65, maybe 70. It's not like one of these 100,000 stadiums that you see. It's not like AT&T Stadium or anything like that. It is, kind of a level down. So 45,000, that's got to be over 50% capacity. Easily over 50% capacity, pushing on for 2/3. So there's not going to be much social distancing if they are looking for 45,000 people each day. So it is a concern because it is only a month away. But they must have some kind of clearance. There must be some kind of someone somewhere must be telling them this is a good idea, but it doesn't feel like a good idea to me. So, yeah, I must be honest. I wouldn't be racing to get my WrestleMania ticket with that news. I mean, like, I kind of feel... I understand that they want this to feel big. They want it to feel like the return. I understand all of that. But, yeah, I don't know where you guys are in America with the vaccines. I certainly don't know where Tampa is. Maybe everyone's had... I mean, even saying that, it's irrelevant because there's going to be people coming from all over the country to WrestleMania. So it's like... I'm sure the last time I checked out, like 350 million people, you'd vaccinated about 90 million. So I think you still had like 200 and something million to go. So you ain't doing that in a month. And I'm sure that Biden said that you was hoping to be completely sorted by like July. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I understand the concern on this. It does seem
Anna
a bit strange.
Doors is a legend. They donated £2 via a super chat. The venue will be running at 75 capacity.
Right, so 3/4. Right. Makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense, but yes, at least numbers-wise, yeah, that's about right in my head. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. So 25% for social distancing. It's not going to make a massive difference, that, is it? But, I mean, first of all, I suppose it's better than nothing. But, yeah, I'd be a bit concerned if I was going. It's Ryan says, still annoyed that Kairi Sane never got to do a pirate entrance. Hopefully she comes out with Asuka and gets a cool entrance. I'm still have hope. Days even Filana Productions, who is a big wrestling YouTuber, put Triple H versus AJ in his WrestleMania match card. I mean, at this point, if we don't get it, I will be disappointed. Harley, I don't know if you heard, I looked into it, and it's all come from a comment that AJ made. And he made it, well, he might have made it in a few places, but where I saw it was WWE Now India. They asked him, like, who would you like to face next? And he named Triple H.
Gerard Carra is a legend.
So
they donated
€5
via a super chat. GF said if I stop tipping now we can go to Mania Anfield and ask it next year. Sounds like a good plan. He'll still talk in just the chat. Smiley face.
Gerard Carra, shout out to you, my friend. I can't see your super chat for whatever reason. It's not showing up. I can see Vape Ross Vape. But I can't see your super chat yet. It's hiding it from me. It's getting to the point where it's blocking your super chats from being shown to me. But I heard I'll read it out all the same. I still can't see it. It still hasn't come through.
Gerard Carra is a legend. They donated €2 via a super chat. What happened to Otis' big storyline last year?
Well, it looks like they dropped it, but it looks like they dropped it because I think there was a lot of fanfare around Otis. I think his storyline with Mandy really took off. I think it was getting good numbers. I think it was that his segments were getting good traction. I think whatever analytics they've got, merch sales, all of this, it was blowing up around that story. So, you know, we saw Mandy and Sonya get a high-profile match at SummerSlam. Obviously, we saw
Gerard
Otis
Carra is a legend.
win
They
Money in the Bank.
€5
and,
via a super chat.
It all fell apart.
Speaking of Virgil, Liverpool are missing Virgil van Dijk. I think we should all just admit it, and Jinder has all the belts and Bollywood boys.
I can't see these. Can anyone see these super chats? I just cannot see them. Monica says, I can't see it either. It's random, isn't it? Proper random. Like, is Gerard Carra around? What's going? Is Gerard Carra the Lord? What's going on? I feel like
Draven Dresden is a legend. They donated $2 via a super chat. Oh no, Austin literally jumped a shark.
Hang on, are these from the other day? I feel like that was said the other day. Because I definitely answered that Otis thing the other day. And I remember jumping the shark the other day. What is going on? What is going on? What is this? I have no idea what's happening right now. I have no idea. Vape Ross Vape says...
Gerard Carra is a legend. They donated €5 via a super chat. Truth has been 24/7 champion all year, but Bunny gets the Mania moment. I think him the only one annoyed by this. Truth deserved his moment.
I definitely remember that from the other day. How and why is it now started reading super chats from like how has it even got super chats from Monday? What is going on? What is this? We have
Gerard
never...
Carra is a legend. They donated €5 via a super chat. I think we should do a random figure swap, and it could be weekly/monthly thing with Becca. Zed fell very buff if it materialized.
How do I turn her off? She's gone rogue. She's gone completely rogue. She's now reading old messages that aren't messages from Monday. Hang on. I need to try and get into... We've been hacked. We've been hacked. She's just going to start reading out old super chats. Oh, my God. Let's see if I can get into...
Is a legend.
Shut up!
Donated
Stop
€2
talking!
via a super chat. First rule of horsepower. Spell it right.
Right, okay, here we go. Right, hang on. We need to shut this down. We need to press the big red button. We need to shut this down. Hang on. Right, talk amongst yourselves. Not you, voiceover woman. You've done enough talking. How or why is she reading this out? This has never, ever happened before. Never, ever, ever happened before.
Gerard Carra is a legend.
Shut up!
Donated €5 via a super chat. Simon and Garfunkel Sunny and shared gin and tonic, peanut butter and jelly, Shane and Days, all iconic duos.
This?
But now we are horsepower.
Right. We've been hacked, guys. We've been hacked. Oh my God, it's retribution. I have no idea what to do right now because I have no idea where she's getting this information from. How is she reading an old stream? How is she doing this?
Wayne Garland is a
Oh
legend.
my God,
They
just
donated
please stop.
£1.99
Okay.
via a super chat.
Okay.
Do you remember Fiend cost Orton a match with AJ?
Oh my God. Okay, think. This is where I need technical problems. We'll be back in a second. I need one of them, but I haven't got one of them. I can turn her down. Right, first I can turn her down. I could definitely do that. That's an option. Right, let's turn her down, but it's not going to stop her from appearing. So I could take... I can hear her still. Why can I still hear her? I can still hear her. Right, that's not going to work. I don't want to hear her. Right, I can get rid of her. But that's going to suck for people that are sending... Well, do you know what? Needs must, isn't it? It's needs must. Let's get rid of it. Remove. There we go. Kill switch. Killed her. She's gone. She is gone. Well, I didn't expect that. I don't know about you, but I didn't expect that. What about if I try and re-add her now? Let's have a look. Come on. Bear with me. I'm sure you appreciate this thing's going down here. I'm sure you appreciate that. Right. Let's add her back in and we'll see if that has fixed it. So I've got rid of her. And now we're going to look to add her back in. Ooh. Which one do I need to copy? Okay, let's talk. Becky Lynch's father passed away, so that's sad news. And I don't know how old he was, but I think he lived till he was quite, old. I saw one picture of him, and like she was singing his praises and saying like that he was the best dad in the world, super supportive, all of this kind of stuff. So, yeah, really sad. Apparently, this news broke through yesterday that that he had sadly passed away. I mean, there's not really. I don't know much about him, so there's not really much I can add. I just wanted to mention it, and whilst I'm doing this, this seems like a fine time to do that. Right. Done. Is it done? I think it's done. I don't know. I have no idea. Right, I've done some. Right. Volta has got an announcement for NXT UK next week, and no idea what it is. Quite excited for that, but Tommaso Ciampa seemed to be interested in challenging him. There was a little message that was dropped on NXT, so if we end up getting Walter taking on Ciampa, that would be absolutely awesome. Molly Holly obviously has gone into the Hall of Fame. We spoke about this the other day.
They donated $2 via a super chat. Oh no, Austin literally jumped a shark.
Oh my God! It's changed the voice! It's changed the voice, and also it's now still reading out old messages, which that's the third time I've heard the jump the shark one. That's the third time! That means I can't have the alert.
Gerard Cara is a legend. They donated €5 via a super chat. True has been 24/7 champion all year, but Bunny gets the Mania moment.
we've
I
heard
think I'm
this.
the only one annoyed by this. Our
We've
Truth
heard
deserved
this.
his moment.
Oh my God. Right. If it seems like I'm stalling because I don't know what to do, it's because I'm stalling because I don't know what to do. I could get rid of it again. I could get rid of it. Oh my God, I can't believe-
Gerard Cara is a legend. They donated €5 via a super chat. I think we should do a random figure swap, and it could be a weekly/monthly thing with backers. It fell very buff if it materialized.
I feel like that cat. Isn't there a gif of a cat that's like... That's me right now trying to figure out what to do. All I can do is kill it. All I can do is kill it. It's changed the voice. It must be that it just goes, once you reset it, it just
Gerard
picks...
Cara is a legend. They donated €2 via a super chat. First rule of horsepower, spell it right.
I'll have to kill it again. There's no way forward. There's no way forward. I can't even take it off and then re-add it. Right. Well, it's just gone. That's it. Voiceover woman went completely rogue. The voiceover woman is stuck in a loop. Oh. Don't kill her! I've killed her. Do you know what? It's the second woman I've killed today. Oh. I can't see you, but I can hear you. We want Emma back so bad. Kill it! It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. She's gone. Yeah, that is strange. I have no idea why it's read. It won't read. I'm gonna have to look out for them and read it out. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for super chats now. Straight Edge Wrestling News is a legend and donated $5. I'm new here and I love AEW and WWE. Oh, thank you, Straight Edge Wrestling News. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. You're new. Well, thank you for joining us. We are very professional outfit. This is where a lot of people come for breaking news. We get a lot of scoops over here as well. We are a big professional outfit, and I think it's great that you've joined us. this evening of all evenings. So shout out to you, Straight Edge Wrestling News, where I'm sure you can get scoops there as well. Big scoops of news. I'll have a double, please. I'll have a double scoop of news and a flake on top. Thank you. Straight Edge Wrestling News. Shout out to you. Right. Oh my God. Days wanted for double woman murder. Prize $50,000. Well, I would like to point out it wasn't real woman murder. It was virtual. I am a virtual woman killer. I kill the voiceover women when they go rogue and start reading old super chats. So yeah, that's random. Right, the other thing I've got written down. We're moving on, guys. We're moving on. The other thing I've got written down is new action figure reveals tomorrow. This news coming from Mattel. So looks like tomorrow 10 a.m. Eastern, which I think works out to be about 3 p.m. In the afternoon. There's going to be action figure reveals. So yeah, quick recap. Andrade is asked to leave. Asuka might miss WrestleMania. Volta is doing an announcement on NXT UK. 45,000 people wanted for WrestleMania each day. Becky Lynch's father sadly passing away. We did mention that. Molly Holly getting a very positive reaction from wrestlers about her going into the Hall of Fame. And new action figure reveals tomorrow. Straight Edge Wrestling News. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. Amazing that you stopped by for the first time, saw this absolute car crash of a stream and went, this is where I'm meant to be. This feels like home. Straight Edge Wrestling News is a legend and donated $5. I joined your perks too. Straight Edge Wrestling News, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate all of the support. Yeah, crazy. As I said, crazy that you've decided to join after the past 10 minutes. The absolute horrific, soul-destroying, full of panic, didn't know what the right thing to do was. Disaster that has been the stream so far. But shout out to you. And as I said, I'm sure you can get a lot of scoops of news over at Straight Edge Wrestling News. The Moldy Spoon says, Days, who do you think is going to win at TLC? Fiend or Orton? TLC? What are we on about? What? That's like, isn't TLC like the last pay-per-view of the year? Have I been in a feat? Am I dreaming this? What's happening? Gaming in real time is a legend and donated $2 New Zealand. Smackdown is gonna be good. We'll make this better. Yeah, gaming in real time. Thank you so much. I completely agree. Smackdown is going to be good, and we are less than 20 minutes. Oh, wow, that's gone quick, hasn't it? Less than 20 minutes away now from Smackdown. Yeah, gaming in real time. Shout out to you, buddy. Days, I would say something, but I've nothing to say. So have a good Smackdown. Also, it's kind of died down in the last month, and I fell asleep in the last one. What's died down? What's died down, my friend? I please respond. Harley said this year we've got Edge and Shane, which is cool. But last year we had Edge as well. But we also got Brock, Cena, and Undertaker. We don't have a lot of huge matches this year. Triple H, AJ. Oh my God! If I have to hear about Triple H, AJ once more. Wow, okay, yes. I understand there's people out there that want this match. Motix says, bring her back. She was funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if the woman that went rogue was entertaining you. I'm sorry if this random voiceover woman was more entertaining than the content that I tried to provide. But she will not be coming back. What will Charlotte be thinking about in regards to the Andrade news? Well, she'll probably be trying to find a way of getting him to stay. I can't imagine that she would want him to leave, because that means that she'll see less of him. And I would imagine that she'd be enjoying having him around backstage. Even though he isn't actually involved in anything, he's still around. He was still at Raw, apparently, on Monday. So I would imagine that she is probably angling to work some kind of story with him. That would make sense. Gaming in Real Time is a legend and donated $2 New Zealand. I think we're going to get Triple H versus AJ Styles. Laughing face. Oh, hang on. No. I think we're going to get Triple H versus AJ Styles. Laughing face. All right. Gaming in Real Time. Thank you. Jonathan Niemela. I've gone with that. Jonathan Niemela. Jonathan Niemela is a legend and donated $2 Days. Oh my God, I keep forgetting. Jonathan Niemela is a legend and donated $2 Days. My favorite show ever. Fiend pops up soon. He could do. Shout out to you, Jonathan. He could pop up soon. I've been expecting him since Royal Rumble, and pretty much every week we've been saying, yeah, it could be this week. Yeah, it could be this week. Yeah, it could be this week. I think it seems like a lot of people have got Fastlane penciled in. The reason being because that's the first pay-per-view on Peacock. So it's a really good way of making sure people are signed up to Peacock. The other thing, though, is that apparently you will still be able to watch Fastlane on the old network. The old network will still be up as well. So it's actually WrestleMania that's the first Peacock exclusive pay-per-view. So they might even save him for then. That honestly, we might have another 4 weeks of Orton throwing up black goo and like stuff like this. I'm sure the teases will get bigger. But he might not actually return until WrestleMania. So, Wacky and Yubi is a legend and donated $1.99. Days, I can't. Oh my God. Oh, Wacky and Uribe is a legend and donated $1.99. Days, I can't wait for Triple H versus AJ. Oh my God. Yes. Triple H versus AJ. Okay, good. Yes, I hope you get it as well. Straight Edge Wrestling News is a legend and donated $5. So what you think is going to happen with Roman? I heard Naomi turning heel and she going to join Roman and the Uso. The Uso, the one single Uso. Shout out to you, Straight Edge Wrestling News. Yeah, I very much would enjoy that. I think Naomi makes a lot of sense being in that storyline. It's all about family, and obviously she's part of that family. And I think that they could go that way. The only thing is she's over on Raw, and all of this is kicking off over on SmackDown, so she's on the wrong brand. They can easily change that and, swap her. They could be like a brand swap or something. And I think they should do that. And actually, if she ends up joining the Bloodline as like the female member, that would be sick. That would be awesome. So SmackDown definitely should be making a play for Naomi. I do think that they have tried to use Naomi over on Raw with the idea of giving her a run at the title. I think she's over there to get a Raw title opportunity at some point. But with Lacey Evans and what's going on with Asuka, Charlotte coming back, I think she finds herself down the pecking order. So I would do a swap. I would definitely do a swap. Maybe swap Bayley if you have to. and swap Bayley with Naomi. Naomi can be in the bloodline, could be a great heel. You've got a face in Bianca, you've got a face in Sasha, and then you've got this big heel in Naomi, which I think would be great. And Bayley going the other way so that Raw has, got a big name coming back the other way. And if Charlotte's going to stay a face and Asuka's going to stay a face, then bringing in heel Bayley, I think, would make sense. So, I'm all for it. I can't say I've heard it. Can't say I've heard that that's what's going to happen. I haven't seen any reports on that. But if you're telling me they're out there, then I believe you. And I'd be all for it. Miss Clown 1 said, Days, it's happening on other channels. 2-week-old super chats repeating. It's actually a YouTube issue. Oh, they had to restart their whole stream. We ain't doing that. We ain't restarting the stream. We're just gonna go old school. We're gonna get rid of the voiceover woman for this one, and I'll read them out myself. We'll go rogue, guys. We'll go rogue. Joaquin Ruby is a legend and donated $1.99. I can't wait to see Triple H versus Michaels versus AJ. Yes, Joaquin. Yes. I can't wait to see any combination of Triple H and AJ. Yeah? Triple H and AJ in a cage match. Triple H and AJ in a Buried Alive match. Triple H and AJ in a Firefly Funhouse match. Triple H and AJ in a Bra and Panties match. Triple H versus AJ in an exploding barbed wire match where the explosion at the end actually goes right. Yeah, I can't wait for all of these matches. Triple H versus AJ. And you can add Michaels, you can add Vince. Yeah, you could add Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Yeah, you can add Omos, right? You can add all of these. Yeah, you could add the Bullet Club, right? It's very exciting. All the different combinations, the singles matches. Maybe they could face off during the Royal Rumble. Maybe they could face off during Elimination Chamber. Maybe they could face off during War Games. Maybe they could face off during Blood and Guts. Maybe they could face off during a stadium stampede. I don't know. I don't care. Right? I'm very excited for them. I hope you get the matches. Lovely. I'm pleased for you. Yeah? Gaming in real time is a legend and donated $2 New Zealand dollars. I get the idea that Days is sick of Triple H versus AJ. Laughing face. Poop emoji. I don't know what gives you that idea. I'm not sure why you would think that, my friend. I'm very much into the idea. Genuinely, I don't care. I don't care. Sounds perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? Triple H, AJ, yeah, great. It's just this has been mentioned now. There's no sign of it on TV, and it just keeps getting mentioned week after week after week. It's like the new CM Punk. There's no sign of it actually happening. But it's like, it's just constantly getting mentioned. Caden LaRosse is a legend and donated $1.99 US dollars. I've got to get that sorted. I can't remember. What does she say? Does she say $1.99? Or $1.99? $1.99 US dollars? I don't know what she's... I need to bring her back to find out how she says it. Caden LaRose is a legend and donated $1.99 US dollars. That's not right. Caden LaRose is a legend and donated US dollar $1.99. That's not right either. $1.90. It must be like $1.99. $1.99. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you donated. Triple H versus Michael Cole versus AJ Styles. Oh, Caden. I was so fixated on the amount and how to say it correctly. I didn't read your message. And then I read your message and now I hate you. Fun fact, Caden, I don't hate you. Well. Matt James is a legend and donated £1.99. Yes. Matt James is a legend and has donated $1.99. Laughing face. There we go. Shout out to you. You are a legend. And you, Caden. I was only joking. Lauren said WWE have announced it's going to be Bianca and Sasha versus Natty and Tamina. Also, the Mysterios and the Street Profits versus Rude Ziggler and Otis Gable. Feb074 says, Days, I think Drew will turn into something 2.0, where fans will start to turn on him. What 2.0? Seth 2.0. Okay. It was hidden. I couldn't see it. The arrow was in the way on my chat. I think Drew will turn into Seth 2.0, where fans will start to turn on him if he wins the title from Lashley. Like how fans turned on Seth because of Fiend. What do you think? I think, yes, I agree. I don't think everyone will turn on him because I think that people are into Drew. And I think Drew's done some good work. But I do think that people also... I think the fan base is split. Let's put it that way. I don't even know who I would be cheering for. Probably Lashley, to be honest. I think Drew's had his run. I think he did well. I think it's really unfortunate that it's all come at a time where there's no fans. I think he does deserve to have a run with the belt in front of fans. I think that at time his promos can be a little cringe. I think his in-ring work, like we saw against Sheamus, can be excellent when he's got the right opponent. I think his promos can be excellent when he's got intensity and he's got something to actually get his teeth into. When he's just won the night before and he's coming out not to gloat but sort of to gloat, he can come across as cringe. Those promos I'm not a fan of. Those kind of we dealt with the monster, what next kind of promos. No one thought I could do it, but I dealt with the monster, and I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. So, yeah, I think he's got some strengths, he's got some weaknesses, but I think he is definitely a main event talent, and I think everyone accepts that. I think pretty much everyone accepts that. So it is credible that he beats Lashley, and it might be that WWE want him to do that. But the problem with him doing that is that Lashley's reign has been way too short. I think Lashley has got a lot of untapped potential, which is kind of crazy to say about someone of his age and someone of his experience. But only now are we starting to see this hyper-aggressive, unhinged Bobby Lashley with like MVP by his side with a cane. Like the both of them together look awesome. Those two look great together. They work great together. And I think people want to explore that. I think there's more intrigue in exploring this Lashley character than there is in seeing more of Drew. So I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think that it's that people hate Drew. I just think there's more to come from Bobby Lashley, and I think fans can see that. So, yeah, I would agree. I don't think it would turn everyone. I don't think it's like that everyone would now hate Drew. I don't think that would happen. But I think that you would get a very split audience. I think you're going to get a split audience anyway, because I think already people are split as to who they want to win that match, either Drew or Bobby. I would probably want Bobby. PW Insider have added that Andrade looked absolutely miserable at Raw when he asked for his release. Hopefully he gets his release so that he can get his freedom and happiness back, says Planet Dan ASMR. Conor McGregor is the king. Damian and Seth would be good. Will we see Simpernold tonight? Of course you are. Wherever there's going to be lovely ladies, you're going to get Simpernold. What? You expect him to simp from a distance? Come on. This is like King Simp. He ain't going to mess around, is he? So, no, he'll be there. I'm sure of it. Triple H is going to be the winner, says Kuda. Days, the Shane Braun feud is so confusing. Who is the heel? Who is the face? Also, SmackDown is what has died down. I'm starting to enjoy Raw more. Yeah, I think Raw's finding its feet a bit more. I'd say SmackDown has settled a little. But I still think SmackDown's doing some good stuff. In regards to Shane and Braun, apparently that awful promo on Monday was meant to be that way. It was meant to be that it was going to like be confusing and whatever, because it's meant to annoy you. It's meant to make you see Shane as less as irritating as. I don't know if he's meant to look like he's incompetent or whatever, but it was meant to make Shane a heel, and apparently it was written out that it was meant to go the way that it did. So at the time we were like, what's this? Has he forgotten his lines? Why is he taking so long? Apparently it went according to plan. That's exactly what they wanted. And it was meant to annoy us, and it was meant to make Shane a heel. So it definitely annoyed me. So it's a wild way of making Shane a heel, isn't it? It's kind of next level psychology now with wrestling. It's kind of like all of a sudden now they're starting to do promos badly on purpose to get you to hate people. What's this? What's this weird world that we're living in? Would Drew be a good heel facing people like The Fiend and in the future Daniel Bryan? I think the problem with The Fiend, or one of the problems with The Fiend, is who's he going to feud with going forward after Orton? Because if he is this supernatural being, which is what is being presented, how is anyone meant to stand up to The Fiend? The Fiend surely runs through everyone. Which is part of the problem. So it's like, it's hard to say, would a heel Drew be a good opponent for The Fiend? Because, to be honest, I don't know that there is a good opponent for The Fiend. You sort of need another supernatural character to make it even, to make it a level playing field. If The Fiend has got the ability to turn the lights off and transform at any time, and has taught himself to not feel pain and, can do all these supernatural things, then that is part of the problem. How are you meant to get excited for a Fiend versus Drew feud because Drew loses that? He has to, surely. And what's Drew meant to do against the supernatural abilities of The Fiend? So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, I wouldn't turn Drew heel, to be honest. And that is a question that I can't answer. I don't know what the future would hold for The Fiend. I have no idea who The Fiend faces. Unless he's going to start doing, like, mixed tag matches, but I have no idea. With Alexa, I don't know. Right, we are going over to SmackDown. Here we go, says Basti. Here we go, says Epic Little King James. Gaming in Real Time is a legend and donated $2 New Zealand dollars. I really want Drew to be the one to dethrone Roman. That would be cool. Drew would be cool as being that person. Yeah, I could definitely see that. If they're going to build up towards that, then we're going to have to wait a little while because they'll have to be on the same brand. Because even if they face at Survivor Series, it won't be for the title. So really, they need to get onto the same brand. And that'll be huge. I mean, Drew versus Roman would be huge. Certainly if Roman was like still undefeated, still had the belt. I like Big E being the one, but I could live with Drew. Days, by giving Bobby a long reign where he just destroys one opponent after another, they could take it to a stage where it seems like no one can beat him, but eventually someone does, and they get a huge rub, says Feb074. Yes, I agree. Very much, I think, like what they're trying to do with Roman, like how Roman has overcome everyone like that he's faced. Is Roman still undefeated since he returned? I've got a feeling that he is. He came back at SummerSlam. Here we are now in March, mid-March. I think he's still undefeated. So, yeah, they've really pulled the trigger with Roman, of course, as we all know. And when someone beats Roman clean, it's going to be huge. Already, it's going to be a big moment, but I'd just keep building it. This is why I wouldn't have him lose to Edge. Going Ghost is a legend and donated $5. Shout out to you. Oh, shout out to you, Days. Hope you are well. Let's hope this show is a great start to the weekend. Yep, shout out to you, Going Ghost. Shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate the kind words. And we've just had a quick little recap, and we are underway with SmackDown. And let's see what we've got in store tonight. Who comes out first? Oh, I wasn't expecting that. You think you know me? You think you know me? It is Edge. Yes. Earn your scars. We've got Pyro going off for the Rated R Superstar. That's a good way to start the show, isn't it? Have Edge make his way down to the ring. Let us do it like we can. The fact that Jay tapped is still killing me, says Let Him In. You think you know me? Finally, a different person to open the show other than Roman or Braun. That's a good point, but Spark, yeah. It feels refreshing that it isn't Roman. I expected it to be Daniel. I did expect it to be Daniel. So there we go. Roman and Daniel facing each other at Fastlane for that Universal Championship. Of course, Daniel earning that by winning the cage match last week. That was a week ago. Feels like 2 days ago. Okay, Edge wants to address a few things. He says, recently, Roman, you said a man like me shouldn't face a man like you. But I find that amusing.
See, I picked up on something that seemed to fly over a lot of people's heads, and that's because you and Paul are great spin doctors. For weeks, you came out here and you said,
okay, this is good.
Acknowledge you as the main event of WrestleMania. So I made my choice. You.
So Edge said, I made my choice. I chose you. Calls himself a carpenter of what he brings to the table. Edge telling Roman he got played by Daniel Bryan. Days, is there an Andrade Battle Royal this year? No news on that. I would imagine so. I know they didn't do one last year, but it feels like we were in a bit of a different place to last year. I mean, obviously, we're going to be in a stadium. It's going to be potentially 45,000 people in there. We've had Royal Rumble. We've seen Battle Royals on AEW. So, might be reduced. Might be like a 20-person. But I could see it. Undertaker, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Eddie Guerrero, the British Bulldog, Terry Funk is name-checking all the people that he's faced as he came through. I came back not because I have to be, but because I love this. It's good promo. It's good promo. Please mention Benoit. He'd never do that. It's too controversial. Right, here's Daniel. Right, Daniel Bryan making his way out. And he's starting yes chants. This does feel like Daniel Bryan of old. It's starting to feel a bit more like the Daniel Bryan that we know and love. I was getting tired of him playing second fiddle, you know, where he was hanging out with, like, Drew Gulak, hanging around with Otis. Just, he never needed any of that. And it never helped them. Right, big yes chance in the Thunderdome. Edge in the ring. Daniel Bryan in the ring. Ban the man bun. Isn't Daniel Bryan the one that took Daisy's beanie look? It was. He rocked it on, I think it was Talking Smack. Right, Daniel Bryan says that he's got respect for Edge. I can see how hard you've worked. I can see how much you love this. Daniel says this isn't about you. Did you hear Andrade asked for his release? I did, yes, and I hope he gets it. Basti says botch was a slight stumble from Daniel. General Obi-Wan Kenobi says shots fired from DB. So Daniel said this is his last shot. I'm going to give it everything I've got. It's a main event WrestleMania. You've got your spot. So Daniel is saying that he wants to main event WrestleMania, and he has to do all of this in order to achieve that. And so he's saying this isn't really about you. You've already got your spot. I want Daniel Bryan versus Pete Dunne. That would be awesome. Do you think Roman should beat Edge? I do, yes. I think Edge should get a title run, but not now. Maybe Edge wins Money in the Bank. I'm sure there'll be people saying that there's, you know, other better people that could get it, like maybe Big E or whatever. But I think I'd give it Edge. Imagine an Edge cash-in. Imagine how exciting that would be. The ultimate opportunist. We've had many Edge cash-ins, of course, but, I mean, imagine it in 2021 or 2022. Right, we've got Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair going to be on the Kevin Owens show later tonight. Going Ghost is a legend and donated $5 US. Bold prediction. Brock is going to show up in the Edge Roman match. Brock turns face, attacks Roman, and Edge wins the title. Heyman guy versus new Heyman guy feud. It would be awesome. That would be awesome. Sign me up for that. The only thing I wouldn't like about that would be the fact that Roman would be dropping the belt. But I'm down for a Brock-Roman feud. Street Profits making their way out. Right, good opening promo. Enjoyed it. Didn't know where it was going. Only downside is that it doesn't really go anywhere. Doesn't really tell us anything that we didn't already know. Kind of feel like both guys just... Edge is a bit disappointed that Roman's got distracted by Daniel. And Daniel is saying, this has got nothing to do with you. You've got your spot at WrestleMania. I'm trying to secure mine. Really, the promo didn't say anything more than that. There was nothing set up for later tonight. There was no kind of tensions teased, or there was, I don't know if there was really any shots fired. I kind of feel like verbally they've just told us where we are. So it was good. I mean, it was fine. You didn't know where it was going. It was interesting, but I don't know that it's as essential as some of the promos we've seen in recent weeks. And now we've got the Dirty Dogs with Chad Gable and Otis, Alpha Academy. Just attacking Street Profits, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio. So that looks like it's going to be our next match, like an 8-man tag match. So Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy and... I'll call them Dirty Dogs. I don't even know if they get called that. Versus the Mysterios and the Street Profits. Boom. Are you watching Dynamite with the 8-man tag? Yeah. Not a fan of this. This is the kind of thing that... I would criticize AEW for. So, yeah, to be honest, not really a fan of this. Doesn't do it for me. There's no need for this match. Don't know. It's just a showcase, really, for, I think, the tag teams they've got. Otis and Dolph are friends now. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, forget all of that. That happened in the past. Forget all of that. That's done. We're moving on. That was nearly a year ago. So, yeah, forget that. When did Otis turn heel? He turned a few weeks back. He started attacking someone after a match. Can't remember who it was now. Arlie, shout out to you. Laurie says Dominic needs to bulk up. Why does Daisy's face look red? I think it looks all right, doesn't it? Actually, I think it might depend on the camera a little bit. Don't know. Yeah, it looks red there, doesn't it? But not there. I don't know. It must be something to do with the camera. Camera's a bit weird. I did notice that. God, everything's going wrong. Everything's turning heel on me. The voiceover woman's turning heel on me. The camera's turning heel on me. Otis has turned heel on me. Unbelievable. Days, can Slapjack get a shout out? Yes, shout out to Slapjack. Evan says, what's your favourite games console? I haven't got any of the new ones. To be honest, I haven't really got an interest in getting any of the new ones. I haven't got a PS5. I haven't got an Xbox, whatever it's called. I haven't really got an interest. I haven't seen any games that interest me in playing on those. I suppose the Cyberpunk game looked pretty good, but obviously that turned out not to be good at all, and was a whole glitch fest. So yeah, maybe like something like Cyberpunk might have started to tempt me, but I'm not that interested until it's got like a really good catalog of games that I'd be interested in playing. I wouldn't. I'm not interested. I probably won't even get one this year. I don't. And in fairness, I don't get time to playing games, so it's a bit redundant. But yeah, probably the games console I played the most is probably the Mega Drive. Probably the Mega or the Genesis, as it was known in North America. I used to play that a lot, like when I got back from school. Street Fighter, things like that. NBA Jam, the wrestling games. I reckon probably Mega Drive was the console I played the most. Right, we're about to get started with this match. We are back from the commercial break. Tickets on Tuesday. Can I just say that looks stupid? Dominic walking down to the ring with his dad on his back just looks stupid. It reminds me of something from Star Wars. You know, like when Yoda gets carried. I was kind of getting those kind of vibes. Someone carries Yoda, and I can't remember who it is. But someone carries Yoda, and it kind of feels like that. And I'm not sure that's a good vibe to go for. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's not working for me, this whole Dominic thing. Watch Dogs. Yeah, I would be interested in Watch Dogs. The game looks awesome. Based in London as well. And I know London quite well. Been there, obviously, quite a few times in my life. So I suppose there's extra interest in that for me because I think it is fairly accurate to like the London layout. So I'd be interested in just driving around. Do you know what I mean? Just going down Oxford Street, having a look around, like going down to Nelson's Column, going past Westminster Bridge, seeing the London Eye, Big Ben. Flip. I think I just want imagine if they just did like a game where you could just go around cities. I'd love that. Do you know what I mean? Jump in a car, go around Paris. Oh, maybe meet up with some friends. I think I just want a life. I think that's what... I just want a life. But instead of actually doing it and actually making friends and driving these places, just put a video game in and do it there instead. We joke, but that would sell. Imagine that. Imagine if there was like a game where you could just go to cities and just have a little potter around. Have a look around the shops. Go to like the entertainment complexes. There's got to be a game in that. There's got to be a game in that. New York, the game. Imagine that. You just get to go around New York and you can go in all the shops. And you got some money. And if you want to buy some stuff or go to a gig or go to Broadway or go to Times Square, go over to Brooklyn, go up in the Empire State Building, or go to the Statue of Liberty. Like, you could do it all. New York, the game. I think that would sell. I'd buy it. I'd definitely buy it. I mean, obviously, right now it wouldn't work because right now in the game you'd have to be in lockdown. So the game right now is just you in a flat watching Netflix. And you can't actually leave. If you try to leave the flat, the police come round. So, yeah. That would be cool if it reflected real life. Watch Dogs is unreal. The details that Ubisoft put into the game. It's just realistic. LSW says, Days, that is GTA. It kind of is GTA, yes. It is kind of GTA, but I don't think you can go into shops in GTA, can you? You can't go up the Empire State Building and stuff like that. Because it's based on a fictional city, isn't it? Well, I don't know. I say that. It might be based on a real city, but I don't believe it is a real city. I don't believe it is New York. And I don't think you can do all the stuff that I would want to do. But now that we've got like PlayStation 5 and we're at the next gen, you'd start to think that considering GTA and what you can do in GTA, you'd start to think that this is becoming more possible now. I just realized that these are all the tag teams on SmackDown. Yeah, it could be all. I don't know of any others off the top of my head. I'm bored by it. I know that much. It's definitely not a match I care for. We've got Chad Gable jumping in. But, yeah, Montez Ford trying to climb up to the top, but got pushed out the ring. Rey Mysterio jumping into the ring as we go to a commercial break. There we go. Not long, that segment, but... GTA, the only places that you can go is gun stores, police station, and strip clubs. Well... Days, are you trying to play a UFC game would be cool? Me trying to play any game would be cool. Let me tell you, if you want to laugh, flip. Yeah, it could be interesting. I am really interested in it. The downside is that you can't get that game for PC. I'd have to buy it for the PS4. I have looked at it a few times, but I don't know, it's just time, isn't it? I mean, when am I sitting down to play a game? It's not happening. Even like with me not streaming yesterday, I was doing a lot of research for UFC and just like still a load of stuff for the channel. I still wasn't sitting down playing games or watching movies or anything. This guy is really pushing for Bailey to be host, says Kevin. Oh, I haven't seen this. My favourite part of GTA is director mode, says Basti. Friday the 13th game on PC, says Brendan. Days, they should make a game where you could roam around Antarctica. Would you do a gaming channel? Probably not. And by probably not, I mean definitely not. Just because, like, I'm no good at gaming. I'm no good at gaming. I can get into games. When I'm playing them, I can get into it. It's not like I pick them up and get bored. I played a Borderlands was a game I really enjoyed. Fallout might be one of my all-time favorites. GoldenEye back in the day, of course. Mario Kart, of course. Some of the Mario games have been all right. I've never played any Legend of Zelda, but I hear great stuff about it. I've not played a great deal of GTA, to be honest. I played a lot of 4 and Vice City, a little bit of San Andreas. But I don't think I've ever got past 5 missions. I do a lot of driving around. I do a lot of looking around, driving around, saying hello to a few people. Then I'll do a few missions. Then I'll get stuck. And then I'll be like, Before I know it, I've spent ages on the game, but I've achieved nothing. Nothing has been achieved. No progress has been made. I've just pottered around. That's how I play GTA. And then I get bored, and then I do put it down. So I'm not built for a gaming channel, unfortunately. There's definitely better people out there for that. Right, we are coming back. Red Dead Redemption 2. No, I never played it. I played a little bit of the first one. I bought the first one because like GTA but set in the Wild West sounded interesting, so I bought it. But this is my relationship with games. I get sucked into the hype. I play it for a few hours and then I never touch it again. That's what I do with wrestling games as well. Sucked into the hype, play it for a couple of hours. I'll do a Royal Rumble. I'll do start of my career or whatever. And that's it. Put it down again. For me to actually invest in a game and keep coming back to it and keep playing it, it's got to be something very special. Very special. There's only a handful of games I've ever done that with. Fallout 3 is one. Love Fallout. The Fallout games. Basically GTA, but in like a post-apocalyptic world. Brilliant. I love those. Love those. So yeah, Fallout's good. Borderlands is good. Honestly, that might be it. I can't think of any other games that I've ever really put time into. Montez Ford in a sleeper hold. Sleep hold applied by Dolph Ziggler. Paul Carpenter. Shout out to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Mike Ziggler is a legend and donated $6 Canadian dollars 99. That's still not right, is it? $6.99 Canadian dollars, I think is the right way of saying it. Mike Ziggler is a legend and donated $6.99 Canadian. That's not right. I don't know how she says it. I can't wait for her to come back to find out how she says it. Oh, Mike Ziggler is a legend and he donated something. Days, my boys Victor and me Leg are wondering where AJ Styles potentially fits into this year's Mania card. Also, do you think... Oh, she's cut it off. She doesn't always read all of the messages, and she's cut it off. I'll read the rest for you. Days, my boys Victor and me Leg are wondering where AJ Styles potentially fits into this year's Mania card. Also, do you think MSK will capture the titles? Yes, MSK will be tag champs. I'm sure of that. I think they're the best tag team in NXT. I really have been impressed with them. And I can see them competing for and winning the tag titles quite a few times, actually. I see them very much as like American Alpha, Revival, DIY. They're very much in that kind of vein of a tag team. So, yes, 100%. And AJ Styles, where does he fit on the Mania card? Well, the rumors are that he's going to be in the Andrade Battle Royal. So he's going to be in the Andrade Battle Royal. That's how I would use him. That's it. Just Andrade Battle Royal. And he wouldn't even win. He'd get eliminated first. Nice DDT by Ray. Savion Brown, shout out to you. Firefly Revolution says Fallout 4 is good. Yeah, do you know, I never played it. I really wanted to. But I never got around to picking it up. Same with Fallout New Vegas. I did actually buy that. Never played it. I think it was because I never completed 3. And so I was always like, once I'm done with 3, then I'll start New Vegas. Then I'll get to Fallout 4. But I never completed 3. Still haven't completed 3. It's a goal of mine. It's good to have life goals, isn't it? Like, trying to survive this match is a life goal for me. And, like, completing Fallout 3 is a life goal as well. Right, we've got the Mysterios working together. Boom. 6619. Dominic. Crossbody to the outside. Takes out Chad and Ray. Crossbody to the outside. Takes out Otis. Montez Ford with a big splash. 2, 3. Montez Ford actually landed and connected with his big splash. And this time, look, he slumps down again. I was going to say this time he's not holding his ribs or anything, but now he is. Why do it if it hurts? I don't understand. Slight different this time because he's actually jumped and turned mid-air. It looked good, and I thought maybe the landing was a bit better for him, but no. Street Profits and Mysterios win. Hall of Fame season. Right. The bump. Reveal him. Did she know? Oh, she didn't know? I didn't know that she didn't know. Oh, I didn't know she didn't know. That's cool. Yeah, I was saying earlier, a lot of people have come out and said like how influential she was backstage. JR on his podcast was saying that she was one of the good guys. She was one of the good hands. She was one of the people that you would really turn to help get other women over. And yeah, it seems like she's going in because she was so respected. You might look at how long she was around for. You might look at what she's achieved. I certainly questioned it. I certainly looked at it and went, not sure that screams Hall of Fame. I'm not against it, but I could think of a longer list of people ahead of her. But man, honestly, seeing so many people come out saying such lovely stuff about her, it just shows how respected, how hardworking she must have been. So... fair play. Okay, so Jay was trying to get in to see Roman, but Paul Heyman wasn't allowing him in. Just kind of teasing. There's a bit of tension following last week. Obviously, you know, Jay losing that cage match, and now that means that Roman has got to... defend at Fastlane. Roman obviously not going to be happy about that. Alvin says Mighty Molly and applauds. $6 Canadian, 99 cents. Is that what she says? Okay. Mighty Molly was Hurricane's girl. Yeah, I had no idea. I heard that he had announced it on the bump, but I didn't realize, because I don't watch the bump, but I didn't realize she was there when he announced it, and she was actually didn't know and like started tearing up. That's great. That's really cool. Actually seeing the moment that they're told. That's great. I love that. I don't know if you had it in America. You might have. You might not have. We used to have a show here in the UK. A lot of the youngsters in the UK won't know this now. But there was a program called This Is Your Life. And basically, the celebrity would be doing whatever they're doing. If they were acting, they'd be acting. If they were singing, they'd be recording, or maybe at a concert. Or, you know, the celebrity would be doing whatever they're famous for. And out of nowhere, this guy would walk on with this very famous red book. It was a red book. Lovely, like classy red book. Said, "This is your life" in gold on the front of this red book, and he would walk on with it, and the second they saw him and they saw the book, they knew that that an episode was going to be made on them. And it was kind of a little bit like a Hall of Fame thing. Like, people used to see him and burst into tears because it was a big thing. Like, it was one of the big shows on TV back in the day, and the whole show is dedicated to you. It's dedicated to your life. This is your life. This is where you grew up. This is how you got into doing whatever you were doing. This was your success. I mean, like, it's your life story being told on TV. And they brought out old friends, old teachers, family members, people you might not have seen for years. And it was a big, massive, it ran for years and years and years. It was a big, big deal. But that was always one of the highlights, was when they saw him and they just burst into tears and got upset because it was such an honor. Like, there's a lot of value in WWE doing that. Could you imagine if it was like Triple H that went round randomly, knocked on like the door, told them like, we're coming round to do an interview, so get ready. Yeah, so at least you know the person's going to be decent. So knock on the door and everything. And they're like expecting just an interview, but he's there with the Hall of Fame plaque or something, and they see it and they get upset, or it's like, you know, they can't believe, like, how great would that be? Like, it's time. It's time for you to go into the Hall of Fame, kind of a thing, you know? That would be good. That would be cool. That would be really cool. So I didn't realize that Molly was actually there when she was told and got upset and everything. That's great. Obviously, there's a fair few that go in that have passed away, but you could still recreate that moment with the family members, which would still be nice. Right, we've got Seth Rollins with the turtleneck. He's gone full Bailey. Oh, hello. The wind. The wind is that bad. It's actually just knocked some stuff off from the wall. There's a tiny air vent in the corner. Tiny little air vent. Just lets air come and go. Like, the wind is that bad. It's just actually knocked a load of stuff off from the figure display. Madness. Why does Rollins look like he sells books? That's a very good observation. He's got a lovely green kind of jacket. Black turtleneck. He does look like a great classic Bond villain. Definitely getting Bond villain vibes. He says, I've been mocked by Cesaro and all of social media. Biggest waste of potential in the history of WWE. Joaquin Uribe is a legend and donated $1.99. I don't think Scott Steiner would enjoy it. No. No, I think you would very much have to pick and choose who you was doing that with. In all fairness, if Scott Steiner got told that they were going to put him in, he'd turn it down anyway. But I think you know if you're on good terms with people. Liverpool, Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. What, is that your top 5, Brasso? Cesaro versus Murphy rematch, says Nov Freeze. Bianca telling Sasha to take care of Simpanold. So this is like a Simpanold best of that we're watching right now. Progress Match Flow presents the best of Simpanold. Nia has got a new friend. He's been on a shopping spree. Are we watching Simpanold going shopping? We're in a... Oh my god, this is the best thing ever! Nia, Simpanold, and Shane are in a shop. A vignette? Look at this, Simpanold in a shop. She says, anything you want, you can have. Shayna looks bored, and I can't say I blame her. Oh, I like this one. Ooh, Maho. She likes that. What is going on? They did this exact same thing with Carmella and James Ellsworth. Do you remember? Ellsworth went dragged round the shops. What's he doing? Need a selfie in this one. Boom. There we go. Look. Nia. Simpanold. Reggie! Simpy! Oh, he's got gold shoes! He's like Aladdin! Look at them gold shoes. Shayna has checked out, man. She has checked out. Ooh! Ooh. Okay, this is basically a segment of Simpanold emerging in an outfit and Nia going, ooh. The villain TV is a legend and donated $5. I think the WWE has got too many titles. Combine the WWE and Universal titles, the women's and tag titles across brands. Love your live stream. Thank you very much, the villain TV. Shout out to you, buddy. I agree. Combine the WWE and Universal. What can I do to repay you? Look at this. Oh my God. That's going to be everywhere. That sick smile of Nia. What can I possibly do to repay you? Nia! Perhaps she just shouts that. Nia! I don't even know where we are. Oh. Cringe. Right, here comes Cesaro. Says Chalmers. Well, let me tell you, hey. Let me tell you. I wonder if she botches when she makes love. I bet she does. I wouldn't be surprised. Andrew said, I thought this was a family show. It is a family show. What's not family about that? She's not said anything. She's just like... That's going to be all over social media. Perhaps her car needs cleaning. I've never heard it called that, but hey-ho. Paul Carpenter says, all right, let's waste Kevin Owens for a freaking talk show. Yeah, how the mighty have fallen. It is a shame that he was competing for the Universal and now he's just hosted a talk show. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him, because you'd think it would be a while till he gets back having Universal opportunities. A simp and a hole is like our version of Romeo and Juliet, says Lewis. It is. Honestly, if Shakespeare was around, that is exactly the story that he would write. It's like a modern day Shakespeare. Nia is a lucky girl, says Efren. The hole needs healing. That was better than the AEW explosion, says Sean Reset. William, just be honest. Yes, William. Be honest, William. Did you see Michael Cole? He was trying so hard not to laugh. It was such a weird segment. Like, I feel like they could have done a lot more. Do you know what I mean? We've just had Shayna, Nia, and Reggie go into a shop. And I feel like there could have been, like, some humour in that. Instead, he just tried on a load of outfits that look very much like outfits he wears. Whilst Nia goes, oh, Reggie! I don't know. I mean, at least there was an end where he said, how can I ever repay you? And we all know what that means. I do, because I'm a body language expert. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm very good. Very good at reading body language. Randomness, says Miss Clown One. Simp in a hole, says Blazed Radio. CNJ, shout out to you. Scott Steiner has turned it down multiple times. Hades would have to free over more than once, says Heather. What, has Nia Jax done similar with Scott Steiner and he's turned it down? Well, you know, each to their own. Each to their own. Brasso says, Days, if the titles combine, will we need the brand split to end? I think the brand split has got advantages. I think you would get a lot of overexposure. I don't need Roman on both shows. I don't need Fiend on 2 shows. I don't need Drew on 2 shows. I think the brand split has got its positives. I actually think there's probably more positives to the brand split than negatives. I like the idea, I said this before, of like each brand basically being its own territory like it used to be. And adding more, making it bigger, and then having the one champion go around all the different shows. So there's one WWE champion, but there's lots of WWE brands. It's only the same as the territories. There was lots of territories, but there was only one world champion. So yeah, I think there's definitely value in the brand split. Burn it down! Here comes Seth, Embrace the Vision Rollins. He's coming out with... he's got a full suit. Didn't realise that. And Seth has set up a chair on the entranceway, and we're about to get started with Murphy and Cesaro. Quick uppercut there by Cesaro, and strikes to the midsection. Of all the people for Simpenor to have a crush on, Andrew, he's got a crush on everyone. The man doesn't choose. He is not picky when it comes to the lovely ladies. I'm pretty sure any female in the world that shows him any attention, he's got a crush on. So, who is your all-time favorite wrestler? Simpenord. Simpenord is my all-time favorite wrestler. What do you think about the Nigerian Prince, Apollo Crews? I think it's good that he's got a gimmick. I don't think the gimmick's perfect. I think that it's a good gimmick, though. I think it could work for Apollo. It depends how people react to the accent. And it depends how they obviously book him going forward. I've seen people very split on the accent. I've seen people split on the gimmick, to be honest. But I'm on board. I think you'll get used to the accent if he is now starting to use that. You know, you fast forward a few weeks and it just won't be in the conversation as much. But yeah, I think he's got to be booked strong. This is why if he faces Big E, it's hard to know who should win. Because there's an argument, a real argument, that both need to win. Big E needs to keep this momentum going, but Apollo, with this new gimmick, needs to win as well, so it's tricky. Big superplex by Cesaro while Seth watches on. We're 10 minutes away from halftime. I gotta be honest, this show has just not done it for me. Thought the opening promo was fine, but not as exciting as... or as essential as opening promos that we've seen before. I didn't need that tag match at all. And this is a rematch. So, first 50 minutes, not usual SmackDown standard. But Rollins has interfered just as Cesaro was doing the swing. And Rollins now stomping away on Cesaro. So, Seth, I mean, this will be a great feud. Against the ropes goes. And a curb. Curb stomp by Seth. You want to embarrass me? You want to disrespect me? You think you're on my level? I mean, if you look at Seth as a heel and look at how he's presenting himself as this kind of, I don't know, madman. I just don't like it. It doesn't do it for me. I much prefer, like, Balor. Balor's no nonsense. Whereas Seth is wearing, like, wacky clothes and... It's just wacky. He should be known as Wacky Seth Rollins. Cesaro versus Rollins will be a top-notch match. It will. I reckon Cesaro should show Rollins up big time. Glad to see him getting some extra spotlight, says V Inc. Days, what is your interest level on The Fiend and Alexa? Asks Kevin. Very, very low. Nobfreeze says chair time. No, don't stomp. Well, the chair was being put over the head of Cesaro. Seth was about to stomp on top of it. And thankfully, we've got 4 officials. Noble. An official just blocked him. Yes. And Seth is walking away. He looks like he's off to play golf. And there we go. Seth has left. So Cesaro has been beaten down. We got officials in there. We're backstage. Oh, there's Shinsuke. Shinsuke face to face with Seth. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. We can pull the trigger, man. We can pull the trigger on Shinsuke. We can pull the trigger on Cesaro. That was good. We're backstage with Sammy and Kevin. I want you to be a part of the documentary. Sammy says, you're doing that thing where you blow me off. Give me a second. This is going to be huge. Sammy says, we're going to expose it all. And Kevin's like, all right. Okay, yeah, cool. Logan Paul numbers, guys. He's going to think about it. They are aiming for Logan Paul numbers. Big numbers. Days, what do you think about Bloodline versus Hurt Business? 3 versus 3 with both being tag and WWE World Champs at Survivor Series. That could protect Roman and Lashley from a clean loss. With both tag and WWE World Champions at Survivor Series. What, in a 6-man? Be all right, yeah. Be all right. I want Survivor Series to go back to personal feuds. I'm not into this Raw SmackDown thing because it means nothing. If Raw wins, literally, who cares? If SmackDown wins, who cares? Is there anyone out there that's like Team Raw, Team SmackDown that really cares? And like, by the time that we go to Raw the next night, does it mean anything? It never means anything. There's no bragging rights. Never care. No one cares. Just no one cares. I understand they tried to use it as a story for like Seth leaving, and so they tried to bring some stuff out of it. They tried to do some stuff with it, but I really do think that they should have done Retribution versus WWE. I think we were at a good point to do that. I think we could have done 4 horsewomen a few years ago. I think that would have been much better as well. I think there's just better options for Survivor Series, looking at personal feuds rather than doing this Raw SmackDown thing. This Raw SmackDown thing just seems easy and lazy. That's what it seems, easy and lazy. Like to do this. And there's never a consequence. Maybe if they brought in a big consequence, like if Raw loses, this happens. If SmackDown loses, this happens. There's never anything like that. So, yeah, I could maybe vibe with that a little more. Have you seen the Peloton UK commercial lately? Yeah, it was on actually just before I started streaming. It's a tune. I even found that song on. It was a massive tune. That song, Roses. Can't remember who it's by. Blackjack, maybe. But I'd not heard it. It was big. It had like 100-odd million streams or whatever. And so clearly, like, the world had heard of it. I'd not heard of it. But it's a good tune. Really like it. So thanks, Peloton. Thanks, Peloton, for introducing me to new music. It's where I get all my new music from. Well, I get all my new music from adverts. Days, I know you saw the botch on the second curb stomp. Cesaro stomped himself, says Polaroid Wipe. Shout out to you. Are we going to get Kevin Owens versus Sammy at Mania, asks Harley. Maybe. That'd be a good way to use them. Because you're guaranteed a great match. And it's been a few years since we've seen them in a match. There might be some people out there saying we've done this before, and that's fine. I understand. But gets them both on the card. You're guaranteed to get a great match out of it. The build, I think, would be good. I'd be down for it. Right, we're about to go back. And as soon as we go to the next commercial break, then we will do our halftime scores. We got Jey Uso, we got Edge. I've known your entire family for a long time. I remember when you was 10 and your dad would bring you to the ring. So I've come to talk to you man to man. What are you doing? You and your brother. You and your brother helped wake me back up in 2015. Is that against the New Day? You seem subordinate. You're playing lapdog to the big dog? Don't talk to me like you know me. This is good. Edge says, I tried, and he walks away. Jey Uso, you can tell, is a bit conflicted. It's interesting. This story's interesting. I don't know where they're going with it. Well, I know where we're going. We're going to the Kevin Owens show. We're going to the Kevin Owens show with Bianca Belair and Sasha. Bianca and Sasha. Uso. Last few months have been pretty rough. It's been a roller coaster. Just keep fighting. Okay, tonight is not about me. So he's going to bring out Sasha. He's going to bring out Bianca. Why are they teaming? It makes no sense. Days, what I would do is the brand that wins Survivor Series gets the main event match of next year's WrestleMania. That's interesting. That's interesting. The only problem is, I'm not sure that Vince has got WrestleMania planned by that point. So he might not know what he actually wants the main event to be. Here is Belair. Love this attire. That's great attire. It's kind of see-through, but it's got like black lines on. But it looks cool. Big smile on her face. Corey says that she's a future women's champion. Will that be at WrestleMania? I've got my doubts. Corey doubting that Bianca is going to be able to do it at WrestleMania. Right, here comes Sasha. What's Sasha wearing? You never know what Sasha's going to walk out wearing, but it's normally something eye-catching. Oh, it's wrestling attire. Wrestling attire. Oh, the belt slipped. That belt keeps coming off. That's happened to her a few times. Right, a week on Sunday, they are competing for the tag titles against Nia and Shayna. I feel like we've been robbed of a great Sasha attire. Instead, she's got wrestling attire. Belair, in all fairness, is in boots as well. I should have mentioned that. To my knowledge, they haven't got a match scheduled. I like that pyro, says Kevin. Yeah, so Belair in wrestling boots and wrestling attire. She can wrestle in that. And Sasha in wrestling attire as well. They are in wrestling attire. WWE announced they're going to be facing Natty and Tamina later. Right. Wow. So Kevin Owens says if you can win those women's tag titles and go into WrestleMania facing each other as tag champs, that should go a long way to cementing your legacies. It's nice that they're adding a little more to this story. Kevin says, I think you guys have got like an underlying tension. Silver the Hedgehog said, here's a Survivor Series idea. If Raw wins, WCW gets revived. If SmackDown wins, then ECW gets revived. I mean, I'm so on board with that. So on board with that. Okay, they're talking about Reggie. They're talking about Simpanold. Don't worry about this match. I'm the Michael Jordan of women's wrestling. Maybe one day you could be the LeBron James. Going Ghost is a legend and donated $5. A Raw versus SmackDown match. The winning brand gets an immediate draft of one superstar from the other show. That's good as well. Yeah. Do you know what? I think you guys are proving that there is definitely things they could do to improve Survivor Series and make it matter. I like all of these ideas. Sasha says, I wasn't in the Royal Rumble match, and if I was, I would have stopped you. Two belts, Banks. I'm glad you've got your eye on the prize. I might be walking on the road that you've paved, but I'm in my own lane, says Bianca. And with that, the music hits, and here comes Nia Simpanold in his new suit. And Shayna looking fed up. Here we go. Look, Simpanold giving us a little twerk. Nice lining, in all fairness. Lovely lining. Well, there we go. Simpanold making his way down. Baszler doesn't care. No, Baszler's checked out, man. Right, here comes... we're going straight to this match. So, I'm guessing that Nia and Shayna are just going to jump onto commentary or something. I like this ring. This ring attire is good. Black and red. Natalya and Tamina. Whoa. Whoa. Bianca and Sasha. Right, get in your halftime scores. I know it's well past the halfway point, but this is our first commercial break since the halfway. Get in your halftime scores. Oh, hello, get vaccinated message from WWE. This is our shot. We can do this together. For more information, get vaccineanswers.org. Philip said this feud is boring. 6.5, 6.25, 6.5. Nia's Hole for a Hall of Fame induction. I mean, I might skip that part of the show. 5, 7, 7, 7.5. Days, do you remember Chumbawamba? Of course. Because every time I get knocked down, I get up again. Well, I stay down, actually. That's the truth. I got knocked down the other week when I hurt my ankle. I stayed down. I get knocked down and I stay there. I'm never getting back up again. That's my version of it. 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6.5, 6.5. Savion Brown, shout out to you. 4 out of 10 for this progressive commercial, says Silver the Hedgehog. 7, 7, 4 out of 20. Brandon with a 9.5. Philip with a 5. Moro with a 4.3. Scott Turner with a 7. Kevin with a 6. J14 with a 6.5. 6.5 days botches out of 10, says Austin 316. Hype Man 15 says 6. It's Malik says 5. Darnell says 6. J14 says 6.5. Chris says 7. JB17 plays says 7.25. Bob says 5. William says 3-belt boss. The Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame. Wow. The Hall of Fame. Ooh. Do you remember I was saying earlier, like, it'd be great to see someone surprise the inductee and watching them weep and cry? I don't need that with Nia's Hall. I don't need that with Nia's Hall. If she's going in, I definitely don't need it that way done. Do you know what I mean? Okay, 7 out of 10 because of Simp's shopping spree. 6.5 shopping sprees out of 10. I would do Seth versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. The winner gets a title shot for the next pay-per-view. 5 Simpinal shuffles out of 10, says John. There's a lot of like 7s and below, to be honest. A lot of 7s and below. I do think this show has been a bit of a struggle. The shopping spree was something a bit different, but I do think even that could have been done better. Tickets are on sale this Tuesday. WrestleMania, April 10th, April 11th. Yeah, we've got Nia, we've got Shayna, we've got Simpinal just standing, lurking in the background. And we've got Bianca and Sasha against Natalya and Tamina. I rate this show a Simpinal because he is boring. I'm going to WrestleMania. Have fun. I might go to WrestleMania, says Silver the Hedgehog. Well, have fun. Stay safe. Tennille said Shayna did an interview, said that Vince told her to change her ring style because it looked like she was really fighting too much. Well, we can't have that, can we? We can't have that. Where's the entertainment in watching her trying to really fight? Baseball slide by Sasha. Nia said he looks so good now and you're jealous. I can see it, Sasha. There we go. Look, Reginald standing on top of the announce table. My babe. She called him my babe. Tamina has not only discovered makeup, but also colours for her ring attire. And some hair dye as well, by the looks of it. I think she's got a bit of red in her hair as well. It looks good. These two together look good. And obviously we know how well Natty can work. Sasha in there at the moment with Natalya, Bianca. Sasha almost making the tag, but getting dragged back. Will you stream the Hall of Fame on the Tuesday? Yeah, I think we will. I said that it was something that's always been a bit tricky to do because anything that involves a lot of talking is very tricky to stream because you have to listen to it and then basically you just find yourself repeating what they're saying. So, I don't know. I've always kind of gone, I don't think it's right, but there's so much that goes on at the Hall of Fame. Video packages and little moments and that it's still going to be worth doing. So, yeah, we'll stream it. I haven't got high hopes for it, but I do like the Hall of Fame. Show them again. Oh, Sasha jumps up onto the announce table. She knocks. Reginald has come into the ring. This is just silly. This is just silly. We've got Reginald just running around the ringside area. Sasha getting distracted. This is not building up Bianca and Sasha into the mega match that it should be. It's just a load of nonsense. Simpinold's fun, right? But he's getting involved in what should be an absolute massive WrestleMania match. Seeing these two compete for the title is huge. Why is he here? You're entertaining him? Bianca says you're entertaining him. He's following you around. That's on you. Reggie is adorable, says Sapphire. The boss has got new hair. Big E returns. That's coming up next. We've got 40 minutes left to go. Feb074 says, Days, easy yet tough question. To be a successful wrestler in WWE, do you actually need to be a good wrestler? I mean, just look at Andrade and Black. I think you need to have some kind of level of skill. But the gimmick is, dare I say, equally as important. So you can get away with not being the best wrestler. I don't know if you can get away with not being a good wrestler at all. I mean, even people might point to Brock, but Brock is actually a very good wrestler. He's got that NCAA wrestling background, and he's actually got a decent arsenal of moves. Decent storytelling, decent selling. Yeah, I kind of feel like you get found out when the bell rings, you know. Look at the Warrior. The Warrior was an incredible gimmick, but couldn't really wrestle. Only had a few power moves. He got to the top. But when he got to the top, he got found out. People still loved him, but there was a reason why his matches were so short. There's a reason why his championship reign was so short. So you can definitely get away with not being a great wrestler. Definitely. And I'd say the Warrior is evidence of that. Who was honestly one of my favorites as a kid. Bailey has had about 60 seconds of TV time in the past 3 weeks, says Bray Wyatt. Dean Winchester asks, what's your favorite Bailey match of all time? Well, obviously the one against Sasha at Brooklyn is the first that comes to mind. Main roster-wise, tricky. Kind of feel like she had a good match with Asuka at SummerSlam. Feel like she had a good match with Charlotte as well. She's obviously had some more other good matches against Sasha. She's had some very consistent matches, Bailey. Maybe she lacks the great feud, though. I'm trying to think of like a great Bailey feud on the main roster, and I'm struggling. I mean, really, you'd have to say Sasha again, but I don't think that turn at the end of last year was very good at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, the beatdown was excellent, but then it just really fizzled out quite quick. I don't feel like we got, like, the killer match out of it. They had a Hell in a Cell match. I remember Bailey setting up the kendo stick and it breaking, and she was, like, it just all going a bit wrong. The match, other than that, though, the match itself was still fine. It was still good, but I wouldn't say it was her best. I don't think anything touches the match she had with Sasha at Brooklyn. I think that is her best match. But she definitely had some good matches against the likes of Asuka as well. And that probably comes to mind first. So, Days, if you was a wrestler, what would be your finishing move? Says Savion Brown. Honestly, dude, at this stage in my life, I would just run away. I would legit just run away. If I was a competent wrestler, I would want someone I could hit out of nowhere. Those are always like the stunner, you can just get it at any time. The RKO, you can just hit it at any time. I suppose the spear, in a way, you can kind of hit at any time as well. There's a lot of finishing moves where you have to like really go for them and try and set them up. Those ones that you can just quickly hit, like Jake the Snake's DDT. That was cool. DDT was cool. RKO was cool. Stunner was cool. Diamond Cutter. They're all cool. I'd want one that you could hit out of nowhere. Ideally, something that we've not seen. Something like an RKO, but maybe a reversed RKO. Could you do a reversed RKO? Could you do it backwards? Something like that. Right, we got Sasha and Bianca arguing backstage. Sasha calls Bianca a rookie. Okay, we got Big E. So we're moving on to the Big E Apollo segment. I like Roman's new one. Like the guillotine choke. It's good. Big E is all bandaged. And he's taken off all of his bandages. There we go. He takes off a load of bandages. Takes off... He's still got his knee bandaged. He's not hurt anymore. No. Who do you think gets more opportunities in WWE? A good wrestler or good on the mic? I don't think it matters, to be honest. I don't think if you're good at the mic, you're guaranteed opportunities. It all comes down to if Vince sees it in you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. There's great people on the mic. There's great people that can talk that don't get opportunities. There's great wrestlers that we've seen not get opportunities. There's people that are good at both that don't get opportunities. It comes down to if Vince sees it in you. Right, promo from Big E. Right. You've opened Pandora's box, and there is no coming back. There's no sorry that can fix this. You made me go biblical? I'm not feeling this promo. This is kind of like Big E trying to do serious. It's all right. It's all right. I like the bulldoze your house bit. I'm going to come and bulldoze your house. He said, okay, this is better now. He says, But even that's not enough. Now I've got to end you. I'm ready to give you exactly what you deserve. I can't tell if this is scripted and he's struggling to remember the lines, or if they're allowing him just to talk, but it doesn't feel smooth. He's calling for Apollo. Days, how would you book the Lashley versus potential killer Big E? Similar to the current Lashley. Lashley versus Big E. I think you got a long way to go there. I mean, they'd have to get onto the same brand. I don't know who the champ would be. So I think that'd be too difficult to book, because you'd have to book out the draft. You'd have to book out who was the champion. You'd have to book out quite a bit. There's something wrong with Big E, man. Big E's promos, it's just not... I can't tell what's wrong. There's something not right. He's issued an open challenge, and King Corbin looks like he's going to come down and answer that challenge. Going Ghost is a legend and has donated $5. Hot take: Cena was a bad wrestler. He had so many botches in his matches. Do you agree or disagree? I disagree. I don't think botches necessarily make you a bad wrestler. I think your selling, your storytelling, the kickouts, the drama within a match. I think you can look at... Granted, I can name a load of people like Shawn Michaels that he had a match with, and AJ Styles that he had a match with. Undertaker. You can kind of go through a who's who. I mean, Rob Van Dam. Look at what he did at One Night Stand, where the crowd are like booing him out of the building, and he has a great match with Rob Van Dam. So you can sit there and list a load of people he had great matches against. And you could sit there and go, yeah, but that's Shawn. Yeah, that's Kurt. Do you know what I mean? You go, yeah, but that's because of that. But there has to come a point where you go, well, hang on. John Cena's also in these matches. John Cena's also adding to these matches. And I think his storytelling ability, look at him against CM Punk. I mean, that's one of the great matches from the 2000s, isn't it? Him against CM Punk. Look at the storytelling in that match. And his matches weren't short. They weren't having to try and protect him like they were the Warrior with like really short matches. So I'd have to disagree. I think a few botches or a few moments, considering how many matches he had, how long his matches went for. The fact that we could sit here and list a ton of great Cena matches. Him against Brock. Look at him and Brock. Him and Brock had some great matches. He was involved in a lot of really good multi-person matches as well. And I don't know. I'd have to disagree. I think it comes down to your storytelling, your emotion, your selling, your move set. If you can really take people on a journey. And I think Cena was definitely doing that. The problem with Cena was that he was pushed too strong. It was Super Cena. He was always winning. But I'm not sure that he was a bad wrestler. Cena being a good wrestler is a debatable topic for sure, but as a person, he is a very decent human. I couldn't say otherwise, says a very peppery Trini Pepper. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's definitely one that people can debate and throw around and make arguments for and arguments against, and that's good. That's a positive thing. There's very little in wrestling that people unanimously agree on. So, I can definitely see there being an argument for both. But for me, he was a decent wrestler. He was someone that you always got, I felt, a good match out of Cena. I always felt like when it was the Cena match, he was probably going to win. That was the biggest problem. But the match itself was going to be good. I never got to the Cena match, and it never felt like when you go to a King Corbin match. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, God. Or something like you knew it was a big deal. You knew the match mattered. It was normally for the title or around the title. And to be honest, I thought most of the time the matches delivered. The problem was he kept winning. The problem was he was always getting his hand raised. And that was a problem because it came a bit stale. It came a bit predictable. But I don't know that that was Cena's fault. That was WWE's fault for booking him so strong. But as you said, debatable. He even put on a great match with the Great Khali. Cena won the title multiple times. That makes him better than decent. No, I don't think we're talking about what he achieved. We're talking about him as a wrestler. We're talking about his matches and the quality of his matches. You're not classed as a good or a great wrestler because you've won the title multiple times. Because that's booking. That comes down to WWE and the way that Vince wants to use you. You know, Cesaro is an incredible wrestler, a fantastic wrestler. He's never won a world title. So I don't think it comes down to... I don't think you can judge wrestlers by their achievements. It doesn't tell the story. I mean, look at Mr. Perfect. Never won the WWE Championship. Look at Jake the Snake Roberts and the impact he had and his promos, and never won the WWE Championship. Rowdy Roddy Piper never won the WWE Championship. Andre the Giant only held it for a few moments before surrender, and even that was a screw job. So you can't really measure people's impact or their wrestling ability by title reigns. Right, how long have we got? About 25 minutes. We've got Sami Zayn. Okay, Sami Zayn against Big E. I'm down for this. So, Big E, Sami Zayn. As far as I can remember, I can't recall one single time Triple H won the belt clean, says Crazy Cheech. Days, did you miss what happened after E's promo? I saw King Corbin come out, and then we went to commercial break. So if it was Sammy coming out after that, then I missed that. But we've got this match now. Sammy and Big E. Cesaro versus Cena 1 and 2 were both classics. Yeah, do you remember? That's a good shout, actually. Do you remember his open challenge? Do you remember that Cena open challenge for the US title? His US open challenge. That was great. That was great. Do you remember him against Kevin Owens? That was good. And him against Cesaro, as you said. There's quite a few great matches that came out of that run. That was a great Cena run. Sasha botched her entrance and dropped the bell. Did you hear about Becky Lynch's dad? I did. We briefly spoke about it at the start. Obviously, I don't know much about him. I couldn't tell you his age, but I know he was a decent-ish age. But probably still passed away too young, of course. But, yeah, such a shame. I mean, she was saying how supportive he was and what a brilliant father he was. And apparently he never got a chance to see the baby. I'm not talking about Seth. But, yeah, it's such a shame. Really sad news. So, Sami Zayn, Big E. Joaquin Uribe is a legend. Donated $1.99. What fast food place do you wish you had next to you? That's a good shout. What fast food place do you wish you had next to you? Well, the first one that comes to mind is KFC. to be honest. That's the first that comes to mind. Not McDonald's. I mean, I've probably been to McDonald's more than any other. Just because I think there was more of them in the UK than any other. Certainly there was where I was. But I'm not a massive McDonald's fan. But KFC's nice. I really like KFC. So I'm probably leaning that way. Pizza places are cool, but you might get a bit bored of it after a while. With KFC, I know it's chicken, but it's hard to get bored of chicken. And they do lots of different items. I think I'd go KFC. But as we don't really have Taco Bell, so I'd be quite interested in Taco Bell. But I think I might get bored of Taco Bell after a while. But they're like quite new to the UK. They weren't around when I was a kid. They've only started opening up in the past few years. So I'll say KFC, but maybe Taco Bell might be fun to explore. We don't have Denny's. We don't have... I don't even know if that's a fast food place. We don't have Wendy's. Again, I don't even know if that's a fast food place. We don't have Popeyes. We don't have... What else do you have that we want? Sonic's. We don't have Sonic's. We don't have... I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't even know what you have that we don't. Probably a lot of things over in America and Canada and elsewhere. But we have got Burger King. We have got McDonald's. We have got Taco Bell. There's a few that have opened up. I think we checked and there was about 20 in the UK, which isn't much. It's not many. We've got Domino's. We've got Papa John's. We've got Subway. Subway's cool. We've got Burger King. Did I mention Burger King? We've got Burger King. Yeah, I'll go KFC. Chick-fil-A. I don't think we've got those. Chipotle, we haven't got. Big K, we haven't got. Timmy's, I think we looked at it and there was a couple, was there? We do have Popeyes. What, in the UK? Do we? Is it a couple? I've never seen one. Let me have a look. Popeyes restaurant? Is it a restaurant? Popeyes restaurant UK. As of March 2020, it says there isn't any. Do they have Popeyes in the UK? There are no Popeyes in the UK, but there is a fried chicken alternative called Popeyes. So apparently there is a little company called Popeyes, but it's not the same company. So according to this, we don't have one. We don't have them. I didn't think we did. I've not seen them. Dairy Queen. No. We've done halftime scores. William Hensey is a legend and donated $5. Days, I and Miss Clown 1 are starting a boy band called the Spice Boys. Would you and Tommy like to join us? No. Mainly because I want to be a fan. I want to run the #1 stan account. I don't want to be in the band. I want to be the #1 stan. That's my role. I want to simp. I want to be a simp for the Spice Boys. I don't want to be in the Spice Boys. Thank you for the offer, though. I am definitely going to be stanning, simping, running the fan account. And if anyone talks trash about you on Twitter, I'm taking them down. I don't even care if they're, like, really nice and they're like, Spice Boys are all right. How dare you? What are you on about? What do you like? Oh, I bet you like rubbish. Look at your profile picture. I think you're fat. I'll just go hard after anyone that shoots you down. Hayden says, in New Zealand, we've got Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, and other restaurants. Ooh, check you out. Like to brag much, Hayden, eh? We don't have Wendy's. We have Burger King, KFC, McDonald's also. But we don't have Wendy's, so that's interesting that you've got Wendy's. We don't have IHOP. Nope, we don't have IHOP. Where do I get my Popeyes from that gives me pizza? Are they scamming me? They're probably not scamming you, but I don't think they're the Popeyes that they have abroad. I think they're just a place that's called Popeyes. According to Google, and Google could be wrong, but according to Google, there's no official Popeyes as they have in America in the UK. Right, Big E has retained. I have no idea what the main event is tonight. Like, honestly, I think I've switched off from this show. This is not a good SmackDown. Right, here's Apollo. Here's Apollo's music. Big E. How did Big E manage to look in the wrong direction? He actually turned his back on the entrance stage, knowing he'd get attacked from behind, and he still got attacked from behind. So, Apollo. I do like Apollo's ring attire. He's shouting to Big E to stand up. This is better, man. This is much better. There is McDonald's that has got a pasta and seafood on the menu. Joaquin Uribe is a legend and donated $1.99. Days, do you have Hooters? We did. I remember there being one in Birmingham. I don't know if they're still here, to be honest. I will gladly check. Give me a second. Images. There's no need to go to images, but I'll go to images. Hooters of Nottingham. The only UK Hooters. Oh my God, honestly. Hello, my name's Beryl. What do you want? Is this Hooters? Yes, what do you want? To leave. So, there we go. Hooters, apparently, welcome to Hooters of Nottingham. At Hooters in Nottingham, we've got all you need. Hot wings, burgers, steaks, ribs, and salad. All served by the world-famous Hooter girls. Hello, my name's Ethel. Do you want the wings? Yeah, sure. Do you want a beer? Yes, please, Ethel. Can you stop shouting at me as well, please? Okay. I bet it's wildly popular. Hooters of Nottingham, apparently the only Hooters in the UK. Maybe you should be a double champion, says Simpinord. Right, the big dog. Of course, it's the contract signing. The contract signing is main eventing. Do you like Olive Garden? We don't have Olive Garden, but I did go to Olive Garden when I was in America. I thought it was all right. It felt like a nice restaurant. Like, you wait to be seated. They had nice wine. The food was decent. But I didn't feel like it was all that special. I don't know. It's hard to. We have places in the UK that are a little like that. That are kind of like restaurants that try to be posh, but they're not really posh. I got that vibe from Olive Garden. I don't even know if it was trying that hard to be posh, but the one we went in looked really nice. Joaquin Uribe is a legend and donated $1.99. Days, does your Hooters have old British women? I have no idea. I just imagine that it's probably not as glamorous as our American cousins. Let's put it that way. I should imagine, America probably gets that quite right. Whereas I can't imagine that we're going to be as good. Plus, with the world and the way the world is now, you got to be careful with stuff like that, haven't you? So, I should imagine that everyone's clothed. It's probably got men in there as well. It's probably just a restaurant now. It's probably just a restaurant. The world has changed. I'm surprised Hooters is around at all, to be honest. I'm surprised it's around at all. I can't even believe there's that one left in the UK. KFC popcorn chicken is unbeatable. That's a fact, says Daniel. What do you think? I liked it when I was a kid. I must admit, it was called popcorn chicken, so I did expect a little bit of summer popcorny to be in the breadcrumb. I expected there to be some sort of maybe a little crunch or something in there. Do you know what I mean? With the chicken inside. But it's called popcorn chicken because it's basically just popcorn-sized bits of chicken, which is fine. But it is just little bits of chicken. There's nothing popcorn about it. If the outer shell had a bit of crunch to it, then we're talking, yeah? Then we're talking. So I feel that popcorn chicken is fine, but it is just little bits of chicken. You could just get a big bit of chicken. Do you know what I mean? What do they call the big bit of chicken? Brick. Do you know what I mean? We'll call this popcorn because it's little, and let's call this brick. I don't know. It's only called that because of the size. So can it be beaten? Yes. Because you could just get a bigger bit of chicken. That beats it. Have you ever been to Jamaica before? Have I ever been to Jamaica? I have not, but it is actually on the to-do list. I do want to go. It's a place that my dad is desperate to go. My dad loves, and I do as well, reggae music. He loves Bob Marley. There was a band in the UK called UB40 who did reggae music. They're a great band. They get a bad rap, but they're really good. It's got a good vibe and it's good. So UB40, I think, are cool. Obviously, a lot of their songs taken from their kind of classic reggae songs. But yeah, I've seen Lee Scratch Perry and Damian Marley. Been to see gigs, both of those. Obviously, Bob Marley passed away a long time ago, so never got a chance to see him. But yeah, I'd love rum as well. I do enjoy a little bit of rum. So going over to Jamaica, I would love to go. Joaquin Uribe is a legend and donated $1.99. Think there was a women's evolution in Hooters? Well, maybe there should have been. I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because does it demean women? I don't know. Guys enjoy looking at pretty ladies. Look at Simpernord. That's literally his only job, is to go around hanging around ladies. So, the Simpernords of the world need a restaurant as well. So, I don't know. I'm kind of torn as to whether is it a bad thing or not. I don't know. Are people trying to ban them? I have no idea. I don't know. We don't really have them in the UK. As I said, there was one in Birmingham, and I don't think I ever went to it. I was just aware of it, and I knew where it was, but it got replaced by a pub. It shut down, and a pub opened up instead. Just a normal pub. And now we've only got one in Nottingham, so I don't know if it's a controversial thing or not in America. I know they're everywhere in America. But, yeah, I'm surprised they're still around, to be honest. Slapjack is sexy. There is a strip club in my city called Spanky's. Wow, that's a whole separate thing. Right, we've got Daniel, we've got Roman, we've got Adam Pearce in the ring. Roman is towering over Adam Pearce, intimidating. Jey Uso the other side as well. How long we got left? 8 minutes. Jamaican KFC chicken is the best. We've got Taco Bell and Five Guys opposite Sheffield Arena. That's cool. I know Taco Bell has got about, I think, 20 places in the UK. They opened one in Southampton just before I left. And I enjoyed it. I didn't find it very filling, if I'm being honest. Like, I still felt a bit hungry after, even after having, like, the meal. I still felt a bit hungry, but I did enjoy it. Anna Heel Doors is a legend and donated £2 Great British pounds. As long as the UK has got Greg's, we're all sorted. Well, do you know what? If the UK is going to have Hooters, then maybe what they could do is they could do, like, the equivalent for women and have, like, really fit guys that are shirtless. And maybe Greg's would be a great place for that. And they could all be called Greg. Do you know what I mean? And they could just walk around all shirtless going, would you like a steak bake? Do you want to know our specials on the sausage? I don't know why I'm doing this. This is my impression of sexy guys. Would you like to know our specials on sausage rolls? You can get 3 for £2. Little something for the guys, little something for the girls. Everyone's happy. It's the way forward. Daniel says, I did something you couldn't. I made Jey Uso quit. Daniel Bryan is like going off, man. Daniel Bryan's like, Afa and Sika would love me. I'm so kind. Roman's like, I'm going to smash you. That's what Simpinord said to Nia. There we go. The contract has been signed. I'm going to tap you out. Jey Uso grabs the table. How long we got? 5 minutes. Enough with the disrespect. Ooh, we need a guest enforcer. Well, the contract's been signed, so you can't. Now here's Edge. Oh, it's all kicking off. Dan Daniels is a legend and donated $5. One thing I want to see at Mania is a shock backstage segment of Roman and crew meeting the Hurt Business that ends in a stare-down handshake. That would be good. Right, we've got a development here. It's going to be Jey Uso taking on Edge. And the winner next week will be the special enforcer at Fastlane. Either way, Daniel Bryan's getting cheated. Because Edge isn't going to want Daniel Bryan winning that. I think Edge wants to get his hands on Roman. So I don't think Edge is going to really be that keen on Daniel winning. He'll probably call it a bit fairer than what Jey Uso would, though, but... The table went yeet. The table did go yeet. Have you ever tried jerk chicken? I have. We have, there was a Caribbean, like, food market that comes to Birmingham, that has, like, jerk chicken and, like, a lot of Caribbean stuff. Beautiful. Lovely. Love it. I would love it. I would love to go to Jamaica. It's definitely somewhere I want to go. Right, that is the end of the show, and I don't know, man. I honestly zoned out at times. I don't know why. I don't know if the show was all that bad, to be honest. I think I just struggled with it a bit this week. I think it got off to a slow start. I thought the promos were fine, but I did not need that 8-man tag match at all. At all. And then we went into the Cesaro match, and obviously that was all right, but it was a rematch. Didn't need to see it, and thankfully Seth got involved and kept it kind of short. And to be honest, by that point, we were sneaking towards the halfway point. The old Simpinord thing, I mean, the Simpinord shopping thing was good. The Simpinord getting involved with Sasha and Bianca, I mean, they just lost that match. They just lost that match to Natalya and Tamina. It's hard to get excited for them trying to win the tag titles when they just lost. And not only that, this is not what they should be doing as we build towards WrestleMania. Like, there's so much more better stuff they could be doing with these two. So, yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot that's not sitting right at the moment for me. I don't even know if we need this enforcer thing either. I don't know. I'm just a bit down on this week's episode, I think. 6.75. Ziggler and Rude lost, so I need to take some off the scores. 5 out of 20 says Wendy. 9 out of 10 says Sean Rossett. Brandon says 9.76. Today says 6. William says 6.7. Hayden says 7. Kyle says 6.75. Alex says 7. It wasn't a bad show. It was a 5. Then Roman does his thing. I give it a 3 out of 10. Faye gives it a 3. Let Him In says 6. Sonny says 7. Hype Man says 7. Austin says 7 out of 19. Laurie says 7.5. Tennille said, I heard that Andre's release request was denied. LSW says 5.5. 6.5. Miss Clown 1 says it was a bit meh. 6.5. 6. 6 unnecessary enforcers out of 10. Who says that? Who said that? Because I agree with that. I don't think it's necessary. John, I agree. John Costello. 6 unnecessary enforcers out of 10. Days Christian and Edge both make their returns and both get put into the world title picture, says Hasib. Anna Healdors says 5. Philip says 5.5. Isman says meh. Stephen says 6.5. Tennille says 6. I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6. I was bored. I've got to be honest. I was bored. I think if it's gonna come, I don't think it's a bad show, right? And 6 isn't a bad score. I'd say if you're in the 6s, it's an average. If you're in the 6s, it's an average show. Probably if you're at like 6.75, you're pushing good. Average 6.5, 6.25. I think 6 is like a below average. I don't think it's quite bad. I don't think this was a bad show. So I wouldn't go to the 5s. I still think that they push stories along. There was the shopping segment. Promo at the start was good. Segment at the end was good. It was good, but I zoned out. I really zoned out. I think it comes to something when we're talking about video games and we're talking about restaurants and we're talking about all this other stuff, because the show is not giving us enough to get lost in or theorize about. Instead, we go off to other things because the show wasn't doing enough. The show could do more. The show could have been better, but still maybe doesn't stray into bad for me. I would definitely go down rather than up. I think I would definitely go down rather than up. But I feel like that's a fair score for this one. I think this was not a good week for SmackDown. Let's put it that way. I think Fastlane's in the way. I really think Fastlane's in the way. I think Fastlane would be fine if they were using it for, I keep saying it, mid-card. I think that Roman and Edge is locked. And I think they could be doing a few promos, building up that WrestleMania match, bringing up like some of the backstory, some of the history. Maybe we could even get Beth Phoenix involved. Maybe Edge could go over and have a word with Naomi, see if she could talk some sense into the family. Like, I feel like there's stuff that could happen. I feel like there's things that could be explored. We could have explored like Jey Uso, like starting to doubt whether, you know, like I feel like we don't need Fastlane for that story. We definitely don't need Bianca and Sasha going for the tag titles. That's in the way. We could be concentrating on other things. And, you know, I don't want to make it about race, but I do think it's significant that this is going to be two black women competing for. I don't know that that's happened before. I genuinely don't know if that's happened before. I don't know if we've ever had two black women competing for the WWE women's, or one of the women's championships. We may have done. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if Naomi and Sasha ever faced each other for the title. I certainly don't think it's occurred at WrestleMania. This still feels significant. This still feels like a moment. And I don't know, like, obviously that's not a story they're looking to tell. And instead they're kind of going down, putting them as a tag team. And I don't know, this whole Simpanord thing. And it's like, not for me, man. I wouldn't be going that way with this story. So I kind of like, I love the match. I'm so into Sasha and Bianca. I think it's awesome. But lock it in, just lock it in, and let's focus on it and build. And I don't need fast. It's in the way. It's really in the way. So, yeah, I'd be looking at the tag titles. I would be looking at the Intercontinental title. I would be looking at Sammy's feud. I'd be looking at all the stuff to really flesh out. It's 2 days. WrestleMania is 2 days. We need to flesh out the rest of the card. There's going to be one WWE Championship match, one Universal, one Raw Women's, one SmackDown Women's. A lot of that should be done by now. That should be locked. And I'd be using Fastlane to flesh out the rest of the card that's going to have to fill out 2 days. So, yeah. I mean, if we're getting an Andrade the Giant Memorial, could we do, like, qualifying matches for that? If we're going to do an IC ladder match, could we do qualifying matches for that? How are we going to establish who the number one contender for the tag titles are? I just feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot that we could be doing rather than focused on Edge, Daniel, Roman, doing whatever we're doing at the moment with Sasha. And we've kind of gone, I think we've took a wrong turn. I really do. And I think we've took that wrong turn because of Fastlane. I think Fastlane is ruining. I think SmackDown was in a really good place, and then Fastlane came along, and now we're having to book Summit for the sake of booking it. We do not need Sasha and Bianca going for the tag titles, but we're doing it because of Fastlane. We do not need Roman and Daniel, but we're doing it because of Fastlane. And I think it's a real detriment to the show, so I think Fastlane's a problem. We need to get it done, out the way. We're only a week away. Next week's the go-home show, so haven't got high hopes for next week. So I've not got high hopes for next week, but get Fastlane out of the way, and then that's it. then, hopefully we are very much on the road to WrestleMania, and we'll get at least a couple of good episodes of SmackDown. But yeah, that's my thoughts, really. I just think that Fastlane's a bit in the way, and we need to flesh out some of the other things. Savion Brown, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the kind words. Harley said at halftime I was at a 6-5. After the Sasha Bianca Natalia Tamina match and the aftermath of the Big E, I'm going to give it a 7.25, says Harley. Darnell Green, shout out to you. Liam says, is it me or is Edge acting a little heelish? I think he's all right. I'm not sure that he's acting heelish. I just think he's a little out for himself. Obviously, where he's having a bit of back and forth with Daniel, Daniel's out for himself. So I don't know. I think they're just going for it. They're trying to get themselves in the best position to leave WrestleMania as champion. Only one person's going to do that, and at the moment, it's going to be Edge, Daniel, or Roman. So I'm not sure he's a heel. I think he's just trying to do whatever he can to make sure he is the person that leaves WrestleMania as champ. Andres Hunt says Fastlane is a bit of a pointless pay-per-view. After Elimination Chamber, we should have an idea of some of the matches. Mark, shout out to you. Hasib Days, positive is at least we get to see Edge in action next week. That's true. It'll be a good match. Planet Dan says Greg's is a classy establishment. We don't need to bring it down with naked men. What's your go-to? Mine is a cheese and onion bake. I could eat them every day. Well, to be honest, I don't really go to Greg's because I haven't left the house in a year. Well, I have a couple of times, but honestly, not much. When I was working in retail, I would sometimes pop to Greg's on a lunch break. But problem with Greg's is I kind of feel like you need to have quite a bit to be full. Like, I would sometimes have their chicken and sweet corn baguettes because you feel like you're eating something. Like, honestly, if you have a steak bake, it does not fill you. You'd have to have, like, 3 or 4. Maybe I'm just fat. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fat. But, like, if you have one... if ever I went to Greg's, I bought a lot. I would buy, like, steak bake, chicken bake, pizza slice, baguette, and a drink. And, like, that would probably do me. But there ain't no way I'm walking in and leaving with one sausage roll. Or there ain't no way I'm going in and leaving with one steak bake. Or one pizza slice or something like this. I never really touched the cakes. They look all right, but I was there for the savoury. I was there for lunch, basically. I'd go in and have, spend a bit of money for lunch. But, yeah, they're cool. They're nice. You get some decent food out of them. I never tried the veggie sausage roll. That got a lot of buzz. A vegetarian sausage roll. And I really want to try those Beyond Burgers. I know that's a thing in America. These Beyond Burgers that are like meat, but they're not really meat. I really want to try them. I mean, we have veggie burgers here that I have tried. And they're awful. They taste awful. They're just horrible. They taste like cardboard and they're just horrible. But, yeah, these Beyond Burgers are meant to taste like meat. So I saw like a little news clip of some like Texas cowboys trying this Beyond Burger, and they were like, yeah, this is cool. And they seemed to be fooled by it. They seemed to think it was nice. I have no idea if they were paid and they were in on it or what was going on, but like it was a news article, and apparently they just gave them a burger asked them to try it, and they were into it. So I really want to try it. Yeah. Has anyone tried it? I think I've asked before, and a couple of people said they hadn't. It was okay. What is a steak bake? How would you describe a steak bake? It's like it's like pasty. It's like a lattice. So kind of like how would you describe it? I'm trying to think. It's like steak inside of a baked lattice or a baked. I don't even know. Do you have sausage rolls in America? I don't know. If you have sausage rolls, then imagine one bigger, but rather than sausage inside, you would put like gravy and... I mean, we have pies, a lot of pies over here in the UK. So we're very used to having like that kind of crusty, savory kind of outer pasty shell with like meat and gravy inside. That's a staple of British food. Cornish pasties, if anyone's ever had one of them. A Cornish pasty is what the miners used to take down in the mines. So it's got like a hard pasty outer casing, but then it's got like a lot of potato and meat and veg cooked inside. And apparently miners used to take them with them and they could easily eat them. And it was quite, filling. A pasty filled with small pieces of steak and a steak sauce. This WrestleMania isn't feeling huge right now. Maybe we should add AJ Triple H, says Harley. You're from the UK days, same as me. Yes, I am, David, yeah. Currently, I'm in... Where am I sat right now? I am sat in Shropshire. Not too far from Telford and not too far from Shrewsbury. A pot pie with a steak. I don't know what a pot pie is, to be honest. Steak inside a pastry rectangle. Yes. Why am I even saying? Might as well just show a picture. I can't go until I show a picture of a steak bake, can I? I've done such a bad job of trying to explain what one looks like. I wonder if I could show you, like... Hang on. We can do this. They're quite nice. There we go. There's one. I have no idea why only now it's just dawned on me to show you a picture. Rather than trying to use words, an image is like 1,000 words. Here we go. Boom. There you go. So like there. That's a steak bake. So it's a rectangle with bits of steak inside. Like a gravy steak sauce, as Miss Clown said. And yeah, that's like got that kind of pasty outer shell. I'm going to show you Greg's as well, so you can get an idea of what they sell. Greg's counter. Is that going to do the job? Sort of do the job. So if you go into a Greg's, they have them at like train stations and at airports, but they do have them in most shopping centres as well. A lot of people will go in there on their lunch break, and it is basically just a counter. Here it is. So you go in, you go to the counter. This is the counter. They do coffees as well. It's not really a place that you would sit in and eat. But there we go. So on the right-hand side, you've got all the savoury stuff. So they've got like sausage rolls. They've got lots of those different bakes. So this is not sponsored by Greg's, by the way. Although Greg's, if you're watching and you want a sponsor away. Because I'll quite happily talk about Greg's every stream. But yeah, they've got like Cornish pasties. They've got steak bakes, chicken bakes, vegetarian options as well. So lots of like savoury stuff on the right. And then on the left, they do lots of cookies and iced buns and chocolate eclairs and donuts and stuff like that. But you can get like bacon rolls for like £2 and all this kind of stuff. But they do coffees and teas and they even do porridge. You can get porridge from them. They're open early in the morning, so you could go there for your breakfast. You could go there for... Most people go for lunch, I think. Or grab... Maybe do people grab stuff up for the way home? I have no idea. I used to pop in for lunch. But as I said, I'd get like a baguette, because normally there's a fridge at the side with baguettes and soft drinks and everything. So normally I'd get a baguette, and then I'd end up getting at least a couple, 3 things from that savoury section. What's that? Is that new? There's a new thing Let's have a look. I want to see what this is. New. Oh, hang on. We can. I think we might be able to read it. We can do this, guys. New barbecue pulled pork lattice. Right there. Barbecue. I can read it. Barbecue pulled pork lattice. Oh, that sounds nice, actually. How long have they been selling them? Ooh, I could go for one of them. £1.49 for a barbecue pulled pork lattice. I miss the real world. Wild wings. We don't have wild wings. I don't know what that is. Thoughts on Nando's? Nando's is cool. Nando's is like a chicken plate. I wonder if I could... I've given up trying to describe places now. Now I'm all about... Here's a picture. Oh, this is a better picture of Greg's. Let me show you this picture of Greg's, and then I'll move on to Nando's, and then we will think about leaving. But I am going to show you this picture of Greg's. This will show you what it looks like from like the outside. Boom. There we go. There we go. That's a Greg's. So that's what the sign looks like. You get them in shopping centres. You get them at train stations. You get them at airports here in the UK. And that's very much what it looks like. So you go in. You got the fridges with the drinks and the baguettes and some sandwiches at the top. They do like fresh bread as well. And then you've got the counter that we just looked at. And then there is sometimes, if it's big, a seating area. Sometimes they won't have that. This looks like very much a bigger Greg's that you would get at an airport maybe, or you would get at maybe in a shopping centre. There's not many tables. Literally, you'll only have a few tables, 3 tables or so at the side. It's not really for people to sit down and stay. It's more for people taking out. You go there for your lunch. You grab your lunch, you go back, you go to your staff room or whatever. But yeah, that's a picture of Greg's. And we've got them everywhere. There's loads of Greg's in the UK. And Nando's. Nando's is cool. Nando's is cool. I'm trying to find a good picture of a Nando's. Good picture of a Nando's. That's the outside. Can't really find a good picture of Nando's, to be honest. Well, I suppose this is the kind of food that you get from Nando's. Okay. I don't know why we're on this subject. I think that shows how bad or how boring Smackdown was. The fact that I'm more willing to show you Greg's and Nando's. There we go. That's like Nando's food. People love it in the UK. Like, you go, you get chicken, get a decent sized chicken, chips on the side. As you can see, like coleslaw and garlic breads and olives and corn on the cob. They do nice salads. The great thing about the chicken as well is it'll come out like that, and then you can add whatever sauce you want. So if you want like a really hot sauce, you could add it. If you just want like something quite mild, you could add it and make it however strong you want. But yeah, people go and tend to put on like the extra hot sauce, and yeah, chicken and chips, man. If you like chicken and chips, Nando's in the UK, good place to go. Boom. Days, do you know of anyone that doesn't like Greg's sausage rolls? Because I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone that vegetarians. I don't know if there's anyone that doesn't like Greg's sausage rolls, but I mean, I'm not crazy for them. It's not like I go out my way to get a Greg's sausage roll. Not really that fussed by them, but they're perfectly fine. Lauren said WWE have announced Nia versus Sasha for the title next week. Thoughts? Unnecessary. That's my thoughts. John says, that looks good. They should come here to the US. Oh, I think you've got plenty in the US already, my friend. I think any place like that trying to break into the US market would be doomed. Because you're sorted. You're sorted for food. I'm not sure you need another food outlet. But, Days, I thought you was from Wolverhampton. I have lived in Wolverhampton. I've worked in Wolverhampton. I've got healthy history with Wolverhampton. But I'm not from Wolverhampton. I'm from Stourbridge, and all my family are from Birmingham. So that's not far from Wolverhampton. But as I said, I have lived there. I have worked there. So I have a healthy history with Wolverhampton. Andres says tomorrow is 1 year since the first show at the Performance Center. Monica says, LMAO days. You got these poor people going to sleep hungry. Do you know what? I haven't eaten, but I am going to have something. As soon as I'm done with this stream, I've got a chicken curry lined up. So I'll be having that. So that is dinner, which I'll be enjoying in about 5 minutes' time, because we are going to. I do need to still go and research for UFC, so I do need to go and do that. Gaming in Real Time is a legend and donated $2 New Zealand. Belair had to win the Rumble. Nia just gets given an opportunity. Yeah, that's true. I suppose the extra benefit, though, is that you do get to main event WrestleMania, or certainly get to have a match at WrestleMania. So that's probably part of the prize. But you are right. Nia, do you fancy a title opportunity, Nia? Do you fancy a match? Yeah? Oh, do it next week? Yeah, all right. It sucks. It does suck. Austin says, stop eating the chickens, please. That is true, isn't it? I have got like a chicken curry now. And I do have chicken a lot. I do eat a lot of chicken. I'm like the chicken's worst enemy. Honestly, me and chickens, we've got a bad relationship. In that I keep eating them. You should make a cooking channel. It would just be me eating chickens. Days, isn't it like 3 a.m. where you are? If so, eating a curry, watch you don't throw up. Dude, I figured this out yesterday, that my body clock is 12 hours out. Completely 12 hours out. Because I tend to wake up about 9 p.m. in the UK, which is like sort of like when people get up 9 a.m. Yeah, even that's a lie, and I appreciate a lot of people get up at 7, 6. I tend to get up at like 9 p.m., right? But I won't go to bed till about 1 or 2 p.m., which is basically like going to bed at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. So I've worked out my body is complete. So this right now, this is 3 a.m., but it might as well be 3 p.m., right? So basically, I'm about to have a lovely curry lunch. That's what I'm about to have. I'm about to have a lovely late curry lunch. So it turns out my body is completely out, and out by about 12 hours. So where people are waking up at 9 a.m. or whatever, I'm waking up at 9 p.m. Where people are going to bed at like 1 in the morning, I'm going to bed at 1 in the afternoon. Like, my body is completely out. So I am about to have a lovely curry lunch, right? This is just lunchtime for me. That's all it is. Lunchtime. Days, who is your favorite woman superstar? Probably Asuka. Monica says, you'd do great in the US. I'd do great in any country, Monica. You could drop me in any country. They would love me in North Korea. Right? I would be super pops everywhere. Because I'd just tell them about Greg's. And who doesn't love Greg's? Right. Friends, with that being said, I do need to go and eat a curry. I do need to go and do other things. I don't know what they are. Genuinely, I don't know what they are. Oh, research. That's what I need to do. I need to go and sort out UFC research. That's what it is. In my head, then, I was like, I do need to do other things, but what are they? So what are they? But it's research. Got to do research for the old UFC. So we're back tomorrow. Good main event tomorrow. Leon Edwards from the UK, from Birmingham as well. He's basically the UFC's version of Pete Dunne, but completely different. He is in the main event tomorrow, Leon Edwards, taking on Bilal Muhammad. Should be a really great main event. Looks to be a fun card. We've got Angela Hill on that card as well. Love her. So some decent fighters on that card. Should be a good card. Obviously, nothing compared to what we got last week, but should still be fun. And then on Sunday, we're doing a WrestleMania watch along. The members have been voting, and honestly, I haven't seen what's winning. Let me have a look. I'll tell you what's winning. I'm not saying this is what we're doing, but I can certainly tell you what's winning. I reckon this will end up winning as well, because it's pretty much led from the start. And there was 5 options, and the WrestleMania that's currently winning for Sunday, WrestleMania 24. And actually, do you know what? I've got loads to talk about with WrestleMania 24, because WrestleMania 24 is kind of my return to wrestling. And what I mean by that is I had a job.
These came back from a search.
Thank you. I've got a new voiceover woman. Yeah, I had a job, and so I had to focus on that. And I had to follow wrestling largely through articles and reading results and seeing a few clips, but not watching it as religiously as certainly not what I do now. But WrestleMania 24 was in Florida, and I was in Florida, and I got caught up in the hype, and I knew what was going on and everything, but that really brought me back to making sure that I watched wrestling on a regular basis again. Not just kept up with results, but actually watched it. So WrestleMania 24 is a big one for me. I'd seen all the WrestleManias. I'd been trying to watch the pay-per-views, but I must admit that I hadn't seen all of the pay-per-views. There was B pay-per-views that I was reading results of. Raw and SmackDown I was not watching. I was reading the results. So I was keeping up to date, but I was reading results. But WrestleMania 24 is a big one. I was in Florida. I remember being inside. They're called I-Rides in Florida, and they take you up and down International Drive, which at the time was the main kind of road that had all the hotels, all the shops. If you were going to parks, there was a good chance that you stayed on International Drive. And to go up and down International Drive, there was these like trolleys, these buses called I-Rides. I remember getting on one, sitting down, and the floor had been plastered with this massive poster of WrestleMania 24. And it had all the matches and everything, and it was all WWE. And obviously we weren't too far away from the show. And I got really caught up in the hype. To be in America, in the city that WrestleMania was about to be held in. I mean, I must have been there in, say, February. I reckon I was there in the February, and Mania was the April. So I was there just a couple of months before. So that's the closest I've ever been to a WrestleMania. To be in the actual place it was going to be, but just a few months early. And I got really caught up in it. So WrestleMania 24 has got a very soft spot in my heart. And obviously it's where Ric Flair retired. Undertaker Edge, amazing. Big Show, Floyd Mayweather, weird. So it's got a lot going for it, that WrestleMania. But obviously the Ric Flair thing's probably the big thing. So I'd be totally down for watching that. And it's led from the start, and I'm pretty sure that's what we'll end up watching. So UFC tomorrow, WrestleMania 24 on Sunday, Raw on Monday, and hopefully the Escape Pod back on Tuesday, and then NXT and AEW. So quite the run coming up now. Awesome, friends. I am off to go and enjoy a lovely curry lunch at 3 a.m. here in the UK. Really do appreciate all of the messages, all of the support, and hopefully I'll see you at some point this weekend for what should be a very fun weekend of UFC and retro WrestleMania action. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.